NIP Flash, because it's clear that Vanix, when he gets his comfort, it's totally fine. It could be a point of attack, but at the same time, we've seen SRG drop games because there's just no junglers to play.
Yeah, we're going to have to see who gets the blue side and who gets the red side, as we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern with that Bruno being picked up on the blue side. Coach Arcadia saying he has a plan to work through it. We're going to see if that comes to fruition as we are now jumping into the draft for our final series of the day to determine who will be moving forward and who will be knocked out of M6.
I'm just going to say first pick, second pick. I don't care what colors you guys see.
Don't worry.
Because apparently I'm seeing different from you guys. Anyways, SRG, first pick here. Yes, I know Left is first pick. I just don't know the color. Anyways, SRG betting out the Cho as well as the Lu Yi. And NIP Flash betting out that Fanny. Sakai's or Sakis has been known for that Fanny. And the last time it was let through, it was during ISF. And I don't think he's going to get it. And now the Alpha ban as well. This is what every team has been doing against Langore Giants.
Man, the
ban out the jungles.
I'm telling you, Singaporeans have like the best way of approaching when it comes down to draft as well as macro, right? They've seen you. I mean, they've seen you not have your jungle pick. We're gonna force it out as early as possible. 2 in the jungle bans, and the question still remains: are they going to get rid of the traditionals, right? What about Zhu Xin? Are they going to let that through?
Yeah, or the Bruno still walking through as well. There goes the Granger ban instead. So
great response.
It's looking like SRG may actually just pick up this Bruno, and they're just trying to limit.
Or Jushin. Bruno or Jushin, depends on the ban.
I feel like they're going to take Bruno first pick over the Zhu Xin. But then again, that's just me. We'll see what this very final ban is from the side of NIP Flash, because they were saying, hey, our first 2 bans, we're targeting the Sakis. And then SRG said, you know what? If you're going to target our jungler, we're looking at Vanix. No Granger for you. So what are you going to do about it now?
Another hot pick, too. The Mathilda still walks, may walk through this entire first phase of the bans as well, which could be a 2-pick swing for the side of NIP Flash moving forward, as they are going to be banning out that Zhu Xin.
So between Jushin and Bruno, they're like, you know what? We can handle the Bruno. Without the Granger, their other options are honestly 2 right now. The Beatrix as well as the Moscow, which is the picks that they have used before. And now the Bruno has been picked up by Innocent, half man, half beast. How does NIP Flash respond?
All right. Firstly, they're probably going to look straight into the jungle, right?
Suyo.
Suyo for sure. That makes a lot of sense to me at this point of time. It fits in pretty much every single composition with its toolbox, overall toolbox kit. It's got sustain, it's got stuns, and it has iframes.
Joy. We've seen how much of a threat it could be. May work inside of NIP Flash's toolbox. Can definitely be a threat. The Mathilda still walking. Could provide some survivability if they want to go that route as well. The Eve is still on the table, but they have to worry about the Valentina on the other side.
If Leo is here, he would say the Matilda is still cawing.
Every time, man. Matilda Airlines saves the day, as we saw in our previous best of 5, but it's going to be Suyo and as well as High Loss. Once again, a staple for Diablo. I don't think it's going to go into the support roam section, mainly because JPL, he's more of a playmaker more than a I press 1 button and I tank, I big.
Yeah, now SRG, just saying, if they don't pick up the jungler here, most probably it is going to get banned out. Oh wait, I just thought of another one, Nolan. I can't remember if the last game Nolan was banned or not. But either ways,
it was.
Either ways, SRG, Stormy has quite a big hero pool. If they want to pick up Eve, they can, because it is good going up against the High Loss. Afterwards, perhaps pick up the jungler, but they pick up the Hilda as well as the Joy. And the Joy does have a good matchup against the Suyo.
Oh, it's going to be a little bit challenging now with that Joy in the mix. I mean, just from the last series, we see how impactful that can be. Now going on to the side of NIP Flash. Do they want to pick up something to go up against this Bruno before more of the marksmen get limited out on the second phase of this draft?
It would make sense if we do see a Moskov get locked in. At the end of the day, Moskov does pretty well, especially with the knockback both against Hilda, both against Joy. You're able to kind of create distance between yourself, especially when they want to get on top of you. But no, they're going to go straight for the direct counter matchup towards Joy in Tigreal.
Gentlemen, what do you guys think about the Suyo pick, by the way? And before you answer, let me tell you why I asked. This is Hades' first Suyo in M6. And M6 has been going on for quite a while. This is his first Suyo.
I agree. I think that he's going to do absolutely fine. He is playing more mechanically challenging, high execution heroes like Ling, like Hayabusa. It makes sense that Suyo, less execution overall, has a better skill set and overall toolkit like Box.
Well, they prowed it super early, so I'm expecting him to be at least a little comfortable on that with letting that slide through the draft. But The question also to be asked is what's going to be put into this mid lane? You are seeing the Valentina taken off the board. The Lu Yi was banned out from SRG. They know how NIP Flash likes to favor that, to have the element of surprise. If you go for something like an Eve, which is still on the table, it's going to have a lot of threat with the composition that SRG has so far. You have the Joy who can rush in, pick you off. You have the Hilda as well.
Now we got to talk about fun facts here. From the Swiss stage until now, both SRG and NIP Flash have only been on the blue side twice. Both teams only hold 50% win rate when they are picking first. Will this change?
It's kind of funny.
Watashi wa don't know.
Look, hey man, you keep that with between you and JPL, but between the two teams, the fact that they have only a 50% win rate on blue side is kind of ironic, considering that yes, they are able to kind of play very counteractive towards their opponents, and overall having a better win rate on red side anyways. Second part of the draft, Valentino followed up by the Harith this time round, really wanted to limiting that pool.
Oh, okay, so Aurora possibly could be picked up here for NIP Flash. Like I said, I just don't feel like the Eve would be the answer with this composition. Maybe even a Vexana could be something they pull out here. We have yet to see the response back to the Bruno, though. We talked about Coach Arcadia and how he felt about the Bruno. But for NIP Flash, we don't know what their game plan is for it.
More so, it looks like it has to be very team fight heavy. They've got the Tigreal, they've also caught the high loss. It only makes sense if they do so. They ban, interestingly enough, they ban out the Vexana. They don't want some form of disengage. They might just devolve back down to Veil.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Yeah, they ban out the Vexana just so that they can pick up the Aurora themselves. But like you said, Stormy is kind of bored using Valentina all the time. Towards he asked the coach, can I just pick up a Veil? Which, by the way, if they lost the game, they would have been eliminated. And then the coach is like, sure. So sometimes maybe just look at Stormy, and then coach is like, huh? And then Stormy's like,
okay. Well, keep in mind, in NIP Flash, they are the Loco team. I mean, they could pull out something crazy in the mid lane that none of us are expecting.
That's a good point, but now we're seeing that the target is definitely towards Vanix's side. They got rid of the Harith. They also made sure that the Moskov is out of range at this point. With Granger gone, it kind of forces him on the other counter, which would be Beatrix, but that's only to a certain degree, and it doesn't look like, well, actually, with the Tigreal, maybe possible.
With what Weezy said, it will be funny if it's a Suyo mid. Because again, Hades hasn't used it so far.
Don't you dare.
Not saying Cortese has, but I've watched clips on YouTube. It has happened before, so I'm not throwing it out the window just yet.
Oh man, how illegal would that be?
Let this be a mid lane pick so that we don't talk about it anymore.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. But let's see what this next pick is going to be.
Suyo jungle.
Thank God. But it's Farsa still. Farsa can still be canceled out by a number of abilities coming in from the side of SRG. Well, I mean, Joy's already can close the distance, right? But that's threatening. It doesn't immediately cancel it.
There's some punish too. I mean, when you have a strong front line like a Tig and a Hylos on your side, and then you have the Farza who already has mobility, and then you stack a Flicker on top of it, there's a means for escape if you have the Joy or the Hilda trying to rush in. So definitely have to be careful for that. Not to mention now you have the artillery on your side, right? When it comes to these neutral engagements, these turtles, these lords, they have more range in this composition compared to SRG.
I would agree with the range, but I'm also worried that SRG might play a really difficult comp if they like lock in Matilda, for an example, take a couple of Purifies. It's really difficult to execute.
Among the planes.
Oh, so they pick up the Eve as well as the Guinevere as a roam here. So this Farsa kind of doesn't have a choice but to go Purify. But again, you Purify for the Guinevere, but you want that Flicker going up against the Joy. So honestly, this kind of puts pressure on JPL, where I feel like he wants to engage, but at the same time, he has to look at his backline, because if Cortese gets caught, he has to be there to back him up.
Yeah, at this point, you might as well go Claude, right? You're able to use the BMI, close the distance, and natural counter towards Eve's side. That would make the most sense at this point. I mean, you're gonna, no matter what, it's gonna be a difficult lane against the Bruno. If you want to play something more passive, sure, you can go for the Beatrix, but at the end of the day, you need a wombo combo with something. Both are viable options.
That I see the fondest.
Oh, but they pick up the Natan.
Works
so
the same.
A very late game carry. But honestly, looking at how Natan has been playing, honestly, I feel like Natan has a one item power spike at this point. So maybe we don't have to wait for that long. But now, thank you very much, panelists. Now we're going to throw it over to our casters for the very first match, very first game in this match.
Thank you so much to our panelists. We're down to the final series of the day, and it's going to be between back-to-back champions of their respective regions. It's Brigida and Mirko bringing you the action once again. And surprisingly, it's a balanced composition for both of these teams heading into game number 1.
More surprising for NIP Flash, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time you saw Curtisi on an actual mage? You know, does the Farsa have like the Decimate ulti? Is this the new Farsa or what? Because yeah, Curtisi, we have seen him on mages before. Just it's not the common. It's not the thing we usually think about when we think Curtisi. But let's see how it works out up against SRG's Bruno and Yums' Guinevere.
Yes, because if there's one thing I would immediately want to point out when it comes to Curtisi and his confidence heading into this game, it's that he's not picking up the Purify on the Farsa. So he's really confident in terms of positioning, or it's important that he has to be, because Yums would probably be constantly on the hunt for him, but it's not just Yums actually, it's even Sekai's, it's Cram. There's a lot of members from SRG who could just hunt the backlines of NIP Flash.
Yeah, it does seem like for NIP Flash, their draft is more to shut down Bruno and Joy, right? Yves is going to have a very good time, I would say, the Guinevere and Cram on Hilda. We should see Cram able to get into that backline, but again, JPL goes in. Oh, what was that damage? Hades! A double kill. Yums and Skies disappeared.
And I'm not sure if there was the Sacred Hammer too, or it was just JPL right in front of 2 members of SRG, but that was a beautiful Blade Surge.
What was that?
Stunning 2 members and that immediate burst down as well. So I think this is also one thing you'd have to be careful if you were SRG up against NIP. The amount of early game damage that they have in their hands, they could literally burst down any member they spot out from SRG at this point. Both Hades, Curtisi, and probably even a bit of like poke here and there from Vanix on the Nathan.
I'm still surprised that dealt that much damage. It's not like he went for Thrill, so there's a bit more damage there. Season Hunter, Impure Rage, yeah, nothing too crazy there. Bargain Hunter for Vanix though means that, yeah, like LaFell said, we might get like some power spikes very early on. If Vanix is able to just farm up and go even with Innocent on the Bruno, we might actually see the power spikes be very, very similar to each other, the timing at least. It's tenacity too, by the way, for Innocent. This is something I'm personally not used to seeing. We usually see more of an aggressive stance for Mr. Innocent. Great push. Wow, Hades with a blink getting away from the spatial migration. That's the glory. Oh my lord, Yums just disappeared again. Curtisi will be traded in. But NIP Flash are playing so good.
Yeah, Curti stood there. He knew they were winning anyway. And you could see the priority of NIP Flash in terms of objectives. Diablo just making sure he would be accompanying his other members even though he doesn't get his hands on the level 4 yet. The glorious pathway wasn't even necessary for them to be able to burst down and secure that objective. So NIP Flash, they're off to a really good start, and that pretty much reflects in terms of the gold between our 2 junglers. Hades, I mean 3-0 for this Suyo in the early game. You would understand why he's this much ahead.
Yeah, 3-0, 1.2k gold lead against the Joy and Diablo. Here, electrifying beats. Diablo should fall. Oh, he jukes him. Revitalize gets away. He's going to buy a lot of time and a lot of positions from SRG will have to be given away to rotate over to deal with Mr. Diablo. For the airstrike, though, on the Stormy, that's 1, 2, 3 hits, 4 hits. Every single one of those feathered airstrikes was on Mr. Stormy.
Why does it feel like Curtisi, if only second skill even hit at that moment, could have bursted down Stormy in a full combo. That pretty much reflects how NIP flashes ahead, but Hades spots Sekai's. And one thing at least for SRG is just how ahead their Expelade is, but oh wait, Vanix with the Purify.
Yep, escaping from the spatial migration, Violet Requiem combo, just wanting to play safe in this weak side. He knows the team is doing well right now, so there's no reason for him to actually walk in, do anything aggressive, just play it by the book, passive, and farm up. Whoa, right.
What is this?
Oh, the timing was good. Oh, a bit unfortunate timing for Hades there. He was charging up that skill 1, that stun, but Yums came out a bit late from the bush. Good timing from Yums. And now, turtle number 2, bottom lane, Cram diving! The turret is nothing to Cram, but it does give all the prio over to NIP Flash up top around the turtle. So it'll be a kill on Vanix, traded for the second turtle of the game.
You gotta take note of this. SRG, it's not even their mid laner, it's not even their roamer suddenly rotating to the bottom lane. It's their XP laner rotating to the bottom lane, helping Innocent. So the priorities for Cram, you're seeing it, like just how focused they are in terms of securing that early game for Innocent as well. And they're about to take out almost all of the energy shields. But for Vanix, it is equally important for him to not get picked off. I mean, they should be wary of that. These rotations from Selangor Giants, they're pathing. It's really interesting.
And it's back to just a farming battle for both these teams, you know? Not really going for anything, any invades, ambushes, aggressive takes. NIP Flash, they want to farm. Same goes for SRG. They still have a very, very good mid-game power spike with Stormy and Innocent. So if there's no neutral objective, don't really expect any of these teams to be looking for big plays around the map.
Yep. So for now, we were just waiting for that next neutral objective potentially and that major rotation that we'll be seeing from both of these teams. Because again, Crab here in the mid lane, adding a bit of pressure as well. And it's kind of limits overall the rotations that NIP Flash could do as well. But Hades versus Sekai's in the top lane. But even in the bottom lane, there's action too!
The Worldie! Bouncing from the mini waves. Innocent getting the solo kill there. JPL with a good shove to escape. Oh! That's an implosion. Feather airstrike almost dealt with him. The stun over to Yomes. It should be a trade. No, he flickers out. Great timing from Stormy to pop in that RWM. Good field of immobility to stop NIP Flash from getting that trade.
Such clutch timings from both of these teams in terms of using their crucial battle spells and even ultimates just to save each other, but this is looking pretty good for SRG. They're able to get their hands on the tier 1 lane up top, and they might just get their hands on the bottom lane tier 1 turret too. So with just that amount of pressure, which we thought initially would have been favorable for NIP Flash, it's actually SRG who gets the better of it, but Yums immunes himself with a Violet Cream. So NIP Flash, they know which resources are gone, but they still want to go for this turtle.
Bottom lane shoved in. Does seem like Vanix will be joining the team here as he shoves into mid lane. JPL doesn't have the flicker, doesn't have that instant engage. Diablo, lowers pathway to try to zone them away. Spatial migration comes in, but Hades just wins it out. Yum's very low. Hades going in. That's a kill. Mega kill for Hades as SRG take or concede the turtle and say, all right, we've got enough. We're going to back off.
Yeah, and NIP Flash, I think they're slowly finding their way to play around SRG's pattern in terms of the team fights. Oh, wait.
Nice steal.
They got it away from Hades. Still pretty much ahead in terms of gold. I mean, no one's leading more than Innocent, though. If it was just gold that we're talking about, he's pretty much ahead of everyone. But those who are able to convert it, earlier it was SRG, but gradually NIP Flash, it seems like they're slowly making their way towards SRG's jungle as well.
Purify baited out. No flicker for JPL still. They're going to try to go for the steal. The retribution from Hades will secure the purple buff. And that's info. No Purify for Stormy.
Yeah, and they just got their purple buff too. They've had some form of revenge from NIP Flash. So now we're looking at the current situation wherein we barely get to feel the discrepancy in terms of gold. It seems like it's such an equal game between both of these teams. Even in terms of skill score, they're just having exchanges here and there. So I feel like it's very important that we see who gets the better of the other in terms of the objective fights and the neutrals. But then, even before that, slowly, NIP Flash working their way macro-wise in terms of the game as well. So it feels like they're just being so careful about their engages. This is not the typical hyper-aggressive approach we're seeing from either of these two teams.
Definitely not. Yeah, I guess, you know, they've learned from their mistakes, you know. Early on in the Swiss stage, we saw just how aggressive SRG were in the best of ones. Didn't really pay off for them. So they've learned from that. Now they're going to play more to their win conditions. NIP Flash, on the other hand, they got a lot of success by playing a lot of the aggressive strategies in the Swiss stage, but I guess it's just because of the composition. They have a Farsa and an Atan. So if SRG want to play it slow, NIP Flash are gladly going to try to match that as well with this composition. They will gladly take the late game, the mid game too. We'll see. Item. Oh, wait. Glorious Pathway. That's a spatial migration used already. Feather Airstrike though. Ooh, that's a very low courtesy with the flicker out. Cram trying to go in dive, and Hades zones skies away. Big resources used up before the Lord.
Yeah, but I just want to say, Cram, he's just so consistent in making sure that NIP Flash will be able to position themselves well, but oh no, Stormy! He doesn't get saved by the Purify.
Doesn't matter. The Purify Diablo with the DOT. Damage over time, slowly getting Stormy down. Diablo's an assassin with the high-lows. JPL goes in for the Flicker Implosion. Doesn't find anyone. Innocent, meanwhile, getting his Spatial Migration, Valor Requiem. They're getting split up for their airstrike. And JPL's going to be picked off on the other side of the map as well.
Oh no. 3 members left for NIP Flash, and this might just be a 4v3 or a 5v3 since Stormy is about to return as well. So guys just trying to pressure them a bit. There's a reset though for the Lord, but they're not stopping anyway. That's a Spatial Migration once again!
Connecting Hades, unable to do anything. Skies gets the shutdown, and Cram is trying to go for the flank power. Wilderness Curtis, he's still able to escape. Edison gets the fadeaway shot. Vanix forces the Entropy back, and SRG gets the 2,100 gold lead plus the Lord.
We were just talking about how NIP Flash could have just managed everything considering their composition, and even way back in the drafting phase, earlier they didn't have much of range, but when they picked up the Farsa, you would have thought that they were already able to answer just that. They have ways to reach Innocent, they already have ways to dish out damage from afar, but SRG, they also have the range in terms, or in Stormy, and it's not just that. There's no one in NIP Flash doing the same job as Cram. There's no one in NIP Flash just forcing out the cancels on the Fettered Airstrike and forcing those 2 damage dealers to stick together to make sure that they don't get picked off by the Hilda. And now it's SRG slowly knocking on NIP Flash's base. Holy defense already used for the bottom lane turrets, and they just have to really work their defense to this.
RWM2 trying to get Innocent as much room as possible. You can see the 2 basic attacks on Vanix there. Luckily for Vanix, that did not crit. Wow, it was just so stunning to see that Lord fight, right? It was like NIP Flash were everywhere, and SRG just capitalized on every single mistake. They got the top lane as JPL failed the Implosion Flicker. They killed Diablo, who was alone with no initiator. And then the shutdown happened as Hades tried to recover the situation. And now SRG find themselves with a 5,000 gold lead. It's just clean from SRG.
Yeah, look at Innocent and his items. He's just lacking one more item, whereas Vanix was just able to pick up his Holy Crystal, but is still looking for more in order to dish out the necessary damage. For the other members too, I think for TC at least, we would be expecting some sort of damage as well, but SRG, at this point, I think they'd be pretty much okay with sustaining all that. He doesn't even get to just use the Fettered Airstrike as freely as he wants to. There's always pressure from Cram and even Sekai's whenever there's a team fight. So I don't think NIP Flash, they're able to capitalize on their team fighting as much.
Not at all. Now they're really going to have to wait for late game. Vanix already has the Holy Crystal. Does Vanix have enough to actually deal with Cram? Because Cram has been a nuisance. So Stormy, caught opposition. Diablo goes in for the airstrike as well. Purify used the Spatial Migration! Finds Curtisi! An Implosion, they'll catch him now. Vanix, will he be able to go through everybody? Skies is on a killing spree. And it just melts Mr. Man Vanix on the Natan. Innocent looking for 3 members down for NIP Flash.
And it seems like NIP Flash grouping up together didn't work as well, because that was a beautiful Spatial Migration for Dooms, and it seems like this might just be their walk towards the base.
Diablo's doing a good job at baiting and buying time, but he will be slain. Now it's just JPL with a shove onto the minions. Curtisi finds himself back alive. That's a respawn timer for the airstrike into the cannon minion. They will be able to delay it a bit more. Hades and Vanix will spawn again. SRG still wanting to go for the end. Hades jumping in Spatial Migration. The minions have been dealt with. They're going to go for it, but Hades is still there. It doesn't even matter. Melfic gun range on the Bruno gets it done for SRG in game 1.
They didn't even want to reach the late game, nor even probably stay in the mid game. SRG ends it in less than 14 minutes. One access to the base was all it took for them to secure the first game of the series.
Well played to SRG, constantly just waiting for these mistakes from NIP Flash, capitalizing on them. And that's what really surprising. There were many mistakes happening on different parts of the map, but they capitalized on every single one. They punished every single one.
And I want to hear from our panel how crucial these mistakes were for NIP Flash. Let's break down that game for you and head over back to our panel.
I would say it's very I agree with our casters here, where Slangoray Giants was able to win, capitalizing on the mistakes for NIP Flash. Though I gotta say, this is not the kind of matchup that we were expecting, I guess, because it's less explosive. Where honestly, both sides, they definitely made some mistakes where, to be fair, even we were surprised. Like, I feel like
Yeah, it was. I mean, that early double.
Team is banning. Please ban a hero. The enemy is picking. Your team is picking.
この世界の影を倒すため、不滅の神は俺を選んだ。苦しみの音色を聞かせてやろう。
The enemy is picking.
準備はいい？行くよ。バステト族のナナだにゃ。
Your team
友
is
達になって
picking.
くれるにゃ。
ピッチは俺のものだ。
愛と希望が一番偉大なる発明なのです。深淵を覗くとき、深淵もまた
ちらを覗いているのだ。
テストテストア
Your
ルフ
team
ァ
is
起動
picking.
絶望の中でも希望を持ち続ければ道は開かれる。
Welcome to Mobile Legends! Request backup! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! Request backup! All troops deployed! Request backup! Understood.
神の名において悪を必ず滅ぼす。山を裂く。民の苦しむ叫びに俺は必ず応える。
Thank you!
この仮面があれば恐怖がなくなる。素晴らしい品だな。俺が守護者足り得るのは
First
民の
blood!
支えがあるから。
Request backup! An enemy has slain! Double kill!
隙なく動き、容赦なく攻撃しろ。
Unstable network. Unstable network.
山を裂く。その恐怖
Gather up the turtle!
俺が守護者と言えるのは民の支えがあるからこそだ。民の苦しむ叫びに俺は必ず応える。
An ally has slain the turtle!
陣形を崩せ。山を
Retreat! Request backup!
俺が来たからには
Request backup!
陣形を崩せ。 ることはない。
Okay, initiate retreat. Ally has been An enemy has been slain. Ally has been slain. Double kill. Ally has been slain. Initiate
誰に力を。ふっ。
double kill.
山をもたく。
Killing spree.
邪魔はさせない。悪を滅ぼす。
Team destroy the turret. Mega kill. Launch attack. Okay.
俺が少し足りえるのは民に支えがある。
Unstoppable. Double kill.
山をもたく。最悪を払う。 山をもたく。
An enemy has been slain.
神の力。
Slain an enemy.
もういい。お前は終わった。
You destroy the turret.
動き。
Launch
攻
attack.
撃しろ。
Ally has been slain. Godlike.
山をもたく。最悪を払う。 山をもたく。 陣形を崩す。
Initiate retreat. Okay.
山をもたく。
Legendary.
神の力。悪を滅ぼす。
Double kill. Triple kill. That was amazing. You destroy the turret.
そよ風を感じさせ。同時の茶を味わう。これに
Launch
勝る。
attack. Your team destroyed the turret.
俺が来たからには。
Attack the Lord. Your team destroyed the turret. Launch attack. Attack the Lord.
一丸となれ。
Launch attack. An enemy has been slain.
この仮面があれば恐怖がなくなる
Thank you.
神の怒りを知れ
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
陣形を崩
An
せ
enemy has been slain.
邪魔はさせない
Team destroyed the turret.
俺が足り得るのは民の支えがある 山を持った
An enemy has been slain.
守りを固めろ
Double kill. Triple kill. Maniac. Victory!
Diablo, which would be what we saw in the previous game as well. So looking at the draft so far, when it comes to SRG, they've got the element of surprise. You have the Lu Yi, so that is something NIP Flash is going to have to watch out for. But there's also that Joy, and right now I'm not really seeing too much to stop the Joy from rushing into the back line. So maybe as we finalize this draft for the side of NIP Flash, they go for something that can kind of stop it a little bit better in its tracks.
Interesting. They get rid of the Tigreal as expected here. Does that mean that they're... I feel like SRG want to take this Cho away from JPL, which doesn't give him many options after that. With Matilda also gone, I mean, JPL could look to play Guinevere himself, but again, his targets are pretty difficult, and most can actually just walk away with Purify.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, NIP Flash, so far, 3 bans towards the EXP, 1 ban into the jungle. So do they make sure this final ban is going to the EXP? Because there's no way you ban off something like a Guinevere. But no, they ban off the Cho. So they make sure that Humes doesn't get that Cho. And we'll see what else Humes have. Maybe he'll pick up the Gwyn again. Maybe he has something else for the Bruno.
Do we see a Gatot maybe coming through here for the side of SRG? I mean, it's good to be able to get to the back line. It still technically can be flexed because we're not seeing the XP or the Roam showcased so far for the side of SRG. I mean, for certain, about like 90% positive we're going to be seeing this Hylos go over to Diablo. But they can still throw another element of surprise in the mix as well. They could still go for sustainability in the mid lane. I mean, technically they could pull out something like a Faramis, but you are going against the Lu Yi, so I guess if you do group up together, it could be a little bit of a problem.
I agree with that. I think, you know, the flex pick in the support roam area is definitely going to be useful. They're going to go straight into the Gwen. I'm trying to think. Historically, I haven't seen Cram ever play the Guinevere. It was especially in his time during MPL MY. It still technically could be the flex, but it doesn't work that well nowadays in the EXP, especially when you're up against these thick boys who generally just don't care and focus purely on pushing the waves.
I prefer CC still.
Yeah. I agree.
I think we can still see the CC here, though. I mean, it would be a good read up against Diablo in the XP lane. Right now, though, I feel like both sides have a way to disengage and engage, right? You have the Guinevere, can get to the back line with spatial migration. We have yet to see the Mage picked up for NIP Flash. Could they go in for the Eve? Is that something they want, considering there is a Valentina on the other side, or a Lu Yu on the other side?
They pick up the Eve as well as the Edith here. So overall, pretty solid draft here. The only thing is that Eve can get caught, especially by that Joy. Though we have to say that when the real manipulation is proc, then you have a shield. So maybe you can sustain for a little bit here. SRG, do they pick up the CC or do they have a different pick here? Like something a bit more tanky, like, I don't know, Charizla, Adamus.
I was thinking maybe, yeah, Charizla doesn't seem too bad of a shout. I feel like Gatot might just be the way to go to zone control. But then, is there going to be an issue of lack of damage, especially around the earlier sections of the game, right? If you're playing towards Granger side, maybe not so much. But then if you're playing towards the EXP side of things, it's purely for setup and for jungle, right?
Khalid is still walking. I mean, may not be the easiest to pull off against the high-lows, but right now you're just running out of options from the draft from the side of NIP Flash. And there we have it. The final pick will be the Gatot to finalize this draft.
Yeah, to more or less counter both the Bruno as well as the Eve. Right now, looking at both drafts, I would say NIP Flash got a pretty good draft on their hands here. Can they execute it well? We're going to throw it over to our casters, Mirko as well as Brigitte. It's your time to shine.
Thank you so much, and I agree. This sounds or feels like a better draft overall coming in from NIP Flash. They have a lot of ways to respond, but then if it boils down to timings again, SRG, they know when to just throw in a single member and to go out when it's very, very dangerous. So they'll have to be very careful on that. I'm looking out for just how surprising the diversion plays will be for Stormy.
Definitely. You know, I mean, Yum's was already really surprising in game number 1, and that was without a Luoyi. Now you have a diversion, you don't know where this Guinevere is going to come from.
Yep.
It could be the flank, could be still from the front, you never know. Maybe you could see a Granger from behind. No, that's a bit too crazy.
You know, I've seen enough crazy when Stormy kept using it alone. Like a solo diversion plays that I don't know if we'll be seeing it once again this time around. Because for the past game, or at least in the series, SRG, they feel a lot more coordinated in terms of the plays that they make. So they might want to work together a lot more in terms of using the diversion plays. But now, reverting back to the usual matchups for now. And of course, to all those out there, don't forget to check the M6 Pass. It's available from November 18 up to December 29. Complete all the active tasks during the event to reach level 75 for free. You get amazing rewards, including the battle emote, the Claude battle emote, the M6 avatar border, and the new special skins alongside Claude's, of course, M6 exclusive skin. So don't forget to check that out. And we're seeing the emblems right now. A lot of damage for Vanix. It seems like they really want to focus on the carry aspect here of the Bruno.
The Master Assassin, this is what we are used to seeing. That's why when I saw Innocent go for the Tenacity, you could definitely see just how much respect he had for the damage of NIP Flash in game number 1. But here, onward over to Cram. He's handling himself in the lane so well, and you can see full movement speed for Cram, agility, and the Wilderness Blessing as the choice of emblem. He knows all he needs to do is shove in and then rotate.
Yeah, I mean, the EXP late matchup, right? It's something we've been looking at even since the previous game. Just how confident Cram seems to be playing, even at times just sacrificing the waves, rotating all the way down to the bottom lane, which I'm not entirely sure if we'll be seeing this time. But considering that he has invested so much in terms of mobility, I don't think that's too far of a reach. We might see it happen again anytime soon. But for now, of course, we'll be setting our eyes on the first turtle between SRG and NIP Flash. And similar to earlier, they'll be positioning themselves first, but probably a slight adjustment. Diablo has the level 4 this time around, so they're more equipped to engage if ever there is a team fight from SRG.
Good poke over to Yoms, but Stormy has done the same to Hades. Earth Shatter and the flicker onward. Hades picks up, it's Curtizio actually picks up the kill. Hades will be caught on taunt. Sky's coming in as well. Electrifying beats goes through the revitalize from JPL. Sky's though caught on the bad spot, will just be poked down. It'll be a 1-for-1 Yums for Hades.
But that was an unfortunate casualty for NIP Flash. That was their jungler that they lost.
Yep.
But fortunately for NIP Flash, SRG is not starting the turtle just yet. They reverted back to farming for Sekai's, but even then, I feel they'd be very much confident to take on this objective. He's already 1 level ahead of Hades, if it's just that. But of course, we're not taking away the fact that this is still a Suyo, so when it comes to objectives, they still might want to contest this either way. Still, NIP Flash They're trying to get some information, but SRG, 4 members are already here.
Yep, full control, no revitalize this time around. JPL trying to go for an angle of attack. Lowers pathway, special migration. Diablo gets the Earth Shatter, but it's only onto the clone. Cram goes over to AOG. That's a Violet Requiem, still very low. RWM, Skies is caught in it. Will be slain by Hades. And NIP Flash take control over the Turtle. Turtle number 1 over to Hades. Oh, Yums got cancer in the bush. Hades gets a double up top.
And this is similar to what we've seen for game number 1. Hades bouncing back after that first death and getting the better early game up against Sekai's. With that kill and that immediate take on the Turtle, NIP Flash are currently in the lead. So this is some interesting developments from them. I mean, they felt like they weren't being as aggressive just yet, but they were just waiting for the right timings. Now SRG, they might want to make use of the element of surprise, as mentioned by our panelists earlier, to be able to catch NIP Flash off guard a lot more often. Because earlier, it was Diablo who set things up for NIP Flash, and they were just able to buy some time alongside JPL enough to regroup and take that Turtle for themselves.
Yeah, becomes a great start from NIP Flash, despite, obviously SRG getting things done early up against Hades. And Vanix has been farming really well, despite the fact that in this matchup, we've been talking about it, or a lot of analysis also has been dropped down by some coaches in interviews. Granger is a winning matchup, so you would expect the Granger to have more kill threat and maybe SRG to play around it. AOG, they know Cortese doesn't have it. Good Earth Shatter. Oh, dodged away by Skies. Glorious Pathway coming down, and they're going to be caught in the real world manipulation. Hades walking up. Yums just barely surviving. The lethal ignition is not ready. They actually don't have that lethal ignition, so they can't get that kill. SRG barely get away. Oh, Hades.
Okay, wait. Oh no, he spots Innocent.
The burst. Let's see if it's enough. Oh, dodging away from the Soul Sever, but you cannot dodge the basic attacks. Hades takes the kill. That is 4-1. Third kill from Hades.
And quick rotations from both sides. They'll be able to mirror each other and take the tier 1 turrets from opposite sides of the map. And that was an interesting that was an interesting team fight we've seen from both NIP Flash and SRG. I mean, all 5 members were present during that time. But it just goes to show how crucial these spatial migrations will be for Yums. Once he doesn't get that successful of a spatial migration and he gets to be forced out of the team fight, NIP Flash, they will be a lot more confident to just go for the engagement this time. Oh no, the guys!
Oh, getting balled down by Vanix. That's JPL taken down, but they're all very low. Hades gets the Turtle. Violet Requiem over to Diablo. Vanix, oh, last shot almost. That didn't crit. Sky Piercer by for Innocent. That, oh, it's a great yin reaction. Hades shoots the arrow. Diablo, Primal Wrath. Earlier, Innocent threading the needle, almost catching Cortese. Hades, Soul Sever, but Cram is able to escape. Special migration from Yums, and Cram gets the shutdown.
There was no way to save Hades at that moment, not even the Worldies, since it was also previously used. Diversion play, where are they headed? It seems like they're going to focus right now on the gold lane. Vanix has to be careful. At least he has JPL by his side, so they'll be able to successfully defend this turret. But earlier, we already saw like a glimpse of just how aggressive NIP Flash could really play if you don't get to set things up again. Going back to what we previously mentioned for Yums, they just, right now, for NIP Flash, clearly are focusing on the objectives, focusing on the farm, and they haven't let go of the lead just yet. So at the very least, they're holding on to their team fight potential, but they can't just be overextending a lot, even though they see an opportunity, especially if Stormy has the yin-yang reactions. We've seen a moment where in the team fight was nearly turned around by SRG just because of a single yin-yang reaction too.
And now it's back to equal. 2 turtles for NIP Flash, but the gold lead is non-existent. SRG can very easily just play for late game, right? Have that Granger and they have the Joy. Though I think NIP Flash are not on a bad spot despite the gold lead not being big here. They have a Bruno. They can always just play front to back, play for the Bruno. We've seen many teams rely on the Bruno. Glorious Pathway. Yums gets away. That's one of the advantages of picking up a Guinevere. You are so slippery.
Yeah, you're not an easy target. And one advantage for SRG is that they are always ahead. They always get to control the brushes. But Sekai's doing a great job in terms of shoving the lanes opposite to the objective right now because the Lord is spawning towards the bottom lane. And they definitely would want to get their hands on this. The game feels quite slow. It's been 8 minutes that we've seen back and forths, but the kills aren't exceeding like 7 kills, and they're just really trying to focus on the objectives. I feel like it's a major team fight that'll really matter for both of these teams, and at least for NIP Flash, they're just really deciding to group up together. But I think that's one advantage, or that's one disadvantage. Well, speaking of group up, wait!
Great Earth Shatter, Yums assassinated by Hades. Great engagement from Diablo. There's going to be 2 ultimates used up already. Diversion into the back. Cortese waiting on it. Skies actually takes it. We ball down. Great taunt over. Vanix caught in the back spot. Pops into Purify. Now the AOG not connecting the stun over from Hades. Innocent gets Diablo. JPL's very low. Skies trying to go into the team fight. Oh, Vanix cannot get in range. Hades walking up. Innocent very low. Still cutting away. The Rhapsody. Oh! Hades with a shot. Innocent low. Living with a sliver of HP. Lord in the sights of NIP Flash.
The timings didn't feel as synced for SRG. It felt like a reactive response to how NIP Flash set up the team fight, but Hades, he still gets the Lord. That was close though for Yums with a spatial migration.
That was a pixel away from Hades getting picked off. Oh man, they're playing with pixels at this point, man. 264 gold lead, by the way. That was a winning fight for NIP Flash, and the gold lead is still non-existent. SRG are actually farming really well.
Yeah. Right now we're seeing that, at least for the gold laners, they're very close in terms of gold, but it does feel like Innocent hasn't had his hands on the right targets. Like the team fights, they usually have access to the backlines. We've seen it earlier, the diversion play, bringing Sekai's all the way near or next to Cortese and Vanix even. But then the damage coming in from Vanix is one thing that you really have to take note. Even Sekai's, once he's just all alone, once he's just the recipient of all the damage of the backliners here from NIP Flash, he doesn't get to sustain it as well. Ooh. So now they have the Lord marching towards the bottom lane. What is SRG gonna do? They will be able to defend it somehow. And at least, for them, they have a lot of range, so they can really deal with all this from afar. But Hades!
That's the diversion we were talking about! Hey, the spatial migration was already really surprising in game 1. Now add a diversion to it. Hades gets caught. Happy birthday, man, by SRG.
And that's how you need to play the Luyi at this point. If you feel that NIP Flash, they've been really confident. They've been just so dominant in terms of positioning themselves and looking for the right timings, then you should be able to do that yourself. But, grab!
Innocent diving. Oh, Sky Piercer. Innocent takes him down. Yums! Gets the spatial migration again. And now Innocent's rolling. The Sky Piercer gamble that he made by buying the item, it's starting to pay off. That is 3 stacks in less than a minute.
A single diversion. And just waiting for another opening from that. SRG, they've taken control of the game. Now the lead is in their hands. And it feels like all that NIP Flash has done in the early stages, they don't mind anymore. Now they're gradually able to open all of the remaining outer turrets in the map. And let's check that instant replay presented by Kidia. That was an Avatar of the Guardians that didn't necessarily connect, but Sekai is from the sides, and that immediate burst down onto Cortese. There was no zone control left for NIP Flash. They were just able to take out all the defenses and force their way into that tier 1 mid lane.
3.4k gold lead. We saw how hard it was for NIP Flash, despite getting 2 turtles, 1 Lord, to establish a gold lead. SRG did it while being behind just a bit, and then it's instantly a 3,000 gold lead. Yeah. The level of capitalization from SRG is on a whole different level here. And for NIP Flash, they're going to be the ones here forced to climb back.
Yeah, I think it's been a recurring theme for like even the first series. The amount of pressure and how clean of an early game you're able to pull off, but then a crucial mistake just allows your opponents, especially with this much of discipline, turn things around. Diablo gets spotted. Oh, the spatial migration and the electrifying beats onto him, bursts him down. That's -1 for NIP Flash.
Uh-oh, the real world manipulation was misplaced. Cram dives in with the AOG. Diversion. Sky's in the back from the flanks. He might be able to get Vanix. And it's still gunning JPL down. Sky's not able to capitalize fully on that, but it's because SRG want to go for the Lord. There's no reason for them to fight. They've gotten Diablo. That's the main frontliner. And this should be a free Lord over to SRG.
Yeah, I mean, the NIP Flash definitely just wanted to position themselves there. Diablo, that Earth Shatter that did not connect, cost him his life. Cellular Giants just went for the kill, and now NIP Flash, they're left to defend. At least they have the Eve, and they have the Bruno, and even the Edith when it comes to wave clear. But SRG, they're not the type to make such crucial mistakes. I mean, I think if there's one thing that they've really tried to adjust, it's also Cram and the way he decides to use his ultimates as the XP laner this time, even on the Gatot Kacha. So they will be a lot more careful, especially in terms of these kinds of sieges. But NIP Flash, they're not that behind, so they could still find a way to defend this.
I don't know. It'll be very dependent on SRG kind of corralling into the real world manipulation. Into the box. Diablo tries to go for an Earth Shatter, a desperate move, and SRG read it. They just space away enough to get away from it. Now, Enhanced Lord marching down. No more surprise initiations from Diablo with a flicker down, and that's going to be the base turret up top taken away.
That's the flicker. Burned here for Diablo, but you're seeing just how patient SRG is trying to play the siege. They're waiting for the mid lane turret, but Yumes, there's the conceal. He'll be coming from the sides. Will this be it?
Spatial migration from Yumes! And Skies capitalizes, electrifying beats, say goodbye to Hades. Diablo very low, onward, backwards. JP with the glorious pathway. The yin-yang reaction is enough to slow him down. Cram just charging. And IP Flash dealing with the waves, and SRG will play it slow. 7,000 gold lead to their name. They'll go for another base turret.
And imagine, they're not even in a position yet where they've been able to deal with all the disruptive plays from Sekai's as well as Yumes. But what more when it comes to the poke that's coming in from Innocent? The Diablo's bursted down just like that! 2 members down for NIP Flash, but Hades will be back in a bit.
Say it like it is, Innocent is godlike. 7-1. JPL is melting to the damage of Skies. He gets stunned up, but there's no follow-up here. NIP Flash can only just turtle in their base at this point. SRG have the range, they have the damage, they have the catch, and they have the poke.
And that range you're talking about? NIP Flash, it doesn't feel like they're able to capitalize on theirs as much. Innocent is currently 7-1-1 on this Granger. And looking at the items, he's already completed all of his items. Doesn't even have the boots. Doesn't even want to go for anything else. Even the Sky Piercer at this point is a huge threat for NIP Flash. He just gets to poke all of the members from afar, and there's beautiful follow-up that can come out. Speaking of that, the Abbot of the Guardian once again!
Electrifying beats in the back, Phoenix evaporating. Yumes getting the spatial migration. Hades soloed out by Yumes. That was JPL falling to Innocent. Sky Piercer, a diversion to the back, a double for Innocent, and the Selangor Red Giants will stomp their way to match point.
Alongside a single minion, SRG ends game number 2 and now holds match point against NIP Flash.
GG, well played.
I cannot believe the patience from SRG. I think that's one of the biggest developments we've seen from them all the way from Swiss stage, heading into knockouts. They know how difficult of a position they are currently in now that they're in the lower bracket. Every single decision counts right now for SRG. Let's hear what our panel has to say. LaFell, it's on you.
There's a Wheezy and a Gideon as well. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Of course. I can hear you. No issues. Thank you very much, Brigida. But I think I speak for a lot of SRG fans. They're taking their time, but they're getting comfortable again, right?
Yes.
They're starting to hit their stride.
Well, stride is one thing, but I definitely think that, it really was a game of who makes the most amount of mistakes in this particular game, right? Initially, it was SRG, and then afterwards, NIP Flash started to lose confidence in their play, and then started to lose vision, and once you start to lose vision, then you start making some weird decisions. And overall, I wouldn't say it's the cleanest game.
ban a hero. Your team is banning. The enemy is picking.
ピッチは俺のものだ。
Please pick a hero.
痛みを感じられるということは生きている証だ。この世界の影
The
を倒
enemy
す
is
ため
picking.
不滅の愛が俺を選んだ。夜も永遠。
槍が折れたら作り直せばいい。
Your team is
俺は
picking.
絶対に諦めない。
炎の情熱を味わってみろ。
テスト、テスト。アル
The
ファ
enemy is
起動。
picking.
もう鋼のように。
Your team
骨はダイヤよりも硬い。
沈みゆく夕日の中で希望の羽が羽ばたく。
Welcome to Mobile Legends! Launch attack! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed!
不滅 滅の神の名において悪を必ず滅ぼす。英雄の物語を楽しめるのは兵士だけさ。神の怒りを知れ。俺が来たからには。
Request backup.
Understood.
躊躇なく攻撃しろ。神の力、山をも裂く。神の怒りを知れ。俺を呼ぶ声か。死を恐れることはない。神の力、民の苦しむ叫びに俺は必ず応える。神の力、最悪を払う。
Request backup.
Understood.
The enemy has slain the turtle. Ally has been slain.
Yamamoto 邪魔はさせない。この仮面があれば闘気などなくなる。山をも裂く。山をも裂く。 一丸となれ。
Save skills for team fight.
限りある命で
An enemy has been slain.
民の苦しむ叫びに俺は必ず応える。山をも裂く。不滅の神よ、我に
The enemy has slain the turtle.
動は危険だ。集まれ。神の怒りを知れ。
Our turret has been destroyed.
キル。この世界に勝る素晴らしいものはないな。
Request backup. Okay. Killing spree.
好きなく動き、躊躇なく攻撃しろ。民の苦しむ叫びに俺は必ず応える。山をも裂く。俺が守護者足りねえんだ。民の支えがあるからこそだ。
Our turret is under attack.
Let's この仮面があれば恐怖などなくなる。
The enemy has slain the turret.
好きなく動き、躊躇なく攻撃だ。
Our turret has been destroyed.
貫く。
Shut down. An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree. Our turret is under attack.
守りを固めろ。陣形を崩せ。 俺が来たからには。民の苦しむ叫びに俺は必ず応える。
Under attack.
俺を呼ぶ声が。
Ally has been slain. Stable network. Ally has been slain. Our turret has been destroyed. Our turret is under
恐れるこ
attack.
とはない。
Our turret has been destroyed.
気の動き、躊躇なく攻撃しろ。 この仮面があれば
Ally has been slain. Okay.
守 守りを固めろ。山をもたく。
Our turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed. Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
これが終わったらこの世の楽しみ。
Our turret is under attack. Has been slain. Our turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain.
栄養の物語を始めるのは英雄神の力。 この世界
Initiate retreat.
素
Okay.
晴らしいものはないな。陣形を崩せ。俺の故郷はあの地平線の遥か向こうにある。
Inhibitor turret is under attack.
不滅の神よ、我に力を。
Ally has been slain.
俺が来たからには。
Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
限りある命で再び世界を旅する。心の真の自由
Our
は
inhibitor turret is under attack.
疲れが取れるいい温泉を教えてやろう。
Slain.
これを呼ぶ声。
Enemy double kill. Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed. Enemy double kill. Our base is under attack. The enemy has slain more. Our base is under attack. Defeat.
No. Let's just assume the Joy is jungle.
Yeah,
but,
Joy's jungle.
It'll be interesting if it
Right? Long range. They've got artillery, ways to burst down their targets, especially with the way the dragon. If it kicks their targets into the right direction, that target is going to blow up. Now, I'm curious to see how SRG is going to respond to this, right? Now that they see the mid lane early on, technically they could lock their own mid laner early on as well. Do they? Does help. All right, Vixana's already locked in, but now they're finishing. For sure. I don't know if he's going to go full damage on this one. Probably not. I would assume that he's going to go tank Cussed Blast into Revitalize like he usually does. But let's see how SRG responds. Now that there's so much mobility and the fact that NIP Flash want to be the ones who are more fluid rather than playing a standard front-to-back game.
Ah, man, looking at what's left, I mean, Do you go the high-low here?
Wait. By the way, this is Guinevere jungle, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I mean, Hades has brought it up before, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be very interesting. SRG, last pick. Do we want fire, have a damaged EXP laner as well? The Kufra, we have not seen the Kufra.
Well played.
Yume's Kufra for a very long time.
God, he's made a name for himself on Cho as well as Kufra. It has been way too long. Good luck. Good luck to both teams.
This game has some nostalgia behind it. Thank you very much, panelists. You know what, casters? Have fun.
I think it's not just Diablo who's been itching to see something new. We've been itching to see something new from this game, from this entire series as well. And for the potentially last game, we're finally seeing it.
SRG basically said, if you want to go crazy, let's go crazy. Oh, Petrify! Diablo wants to go damage!
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Gone are the days of revitalized concussive blast Benedetta. It's Diablo time.
And it's a Guinevere jungle, actually, that Hades is going to pull off against SRG. But what a way to close out the draft by bringing out Yumes on that iconic Kufra up against this lineup with a endless amount of blink skills in their hands.
Man, I'm just super hyped for this matchup. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn. This is an elimination game. Match point for SRG. One loss here means NI Nipflash will be eliminated from the M6 World Championship. And SRG say, yeah, let's go with it. Kufra. I love the Kufra pick for Yumes.
I mean, I like the way they're trying to approach this because like for 2 games in a row, Cram has been insane in terms of applying the pressure, but on this Benedetta, Diablo might be able to go toe-to-toe up against Cram in the lane and in terms of how he's able to rotate faster out of the EXP lane. But again, that doesn't eliminate the fact that Curtizi will still have to face a lot of problems one way or another. On this Farsa, you'd have to be mindful of the Avatar of the Guardian as well as the Joy, as mentioned by our panelists earlier. So if he had a hard time trying to use the Feathered Airstrike with just the Hilda in the hands of SRG, now it's not just the Hilda actually. It's a lot more than that. Even the Kufra, I think, you'd have to consider that too.
JPL gonna walk up with Jikundo. Let's see if he actually gets a stun down. Sky should be able to retrieve this, and yes, he does. Just dancing around JPL. Jones is charging. Diablo clearing out the wave. Yeah, doing really well in the lane so far.
Yep, I think that's one of the biggest adjustments that we're seeing from NIP Flash in terms of heading into this game. And another is that Curtizi would want to probably play this a little bit more safely. It picks up the Purify, but then that Spatial Migration does not connect. So in terms of survivability, I feel like NIP Flash, they have a lot more ways to deal with that. But then they have to still be careful. The element of surprise still remains for SRG.
Okay, let's see. Spatial Migration and a Valor Requiem in towards the final blow. Diablo claiming first blood. Sky's petrified. Electrified Beat still coming down though. Let's get the retreat battle here. Hades will claim it. Sky's forced back. JPL walking up. Cram might be caught here. Jikundo, Way the Dragon, locking him down. Hades claims the kill. Just like in game number 1 and 2. Nip Flash start off strong.
I mean, I think they're trying to approach this in such a way that since our XP laner is able to be a lot more aggressive compared to the first 2 games, they're able to set things up. They're able to force out those skills which would ideally be the ones to cancel out and disrupt NIP Flash from doing the type of teamfight that they want, which is what we've seen earlier. Diablo just went in, forced out the early Avatar of the Guardian from Cram, and that was the signal for Curtizi that he could just use that Feathered Airstrike, control the area near that turtle pit, and then NIP Flash, they were able to take that objective successfully for themselves. But we'll see how SRG adjusts from this point onwards, because still, I mean, they still have the Bruno, and they have a lot of ways to counter-engage if it's just that.
Definitely. It doesn't seem like... At least in this game, it's a bit different, right? You can actually see that Vanix is bullying Innocent in the gold lane with the Granger up against the Bruno. This is something that I don't think we've seen in game 1 and 2. Innocent has been playing it really, really well, and previously he was the one who was winning in the matchup. So Nipflash have so many more ways to actually, drop down some kill pressure if they want to play around the bottom lane. Should be okay too. Up until Innocent gets the Haas claws, at least. That's when he can actually finally stabilize in this gold lane.
Yeah,
but
but at least so far, though, it's more of river control for NIP Flash and rotating towards the EXP lane. Oh, look at Diablo once again. Speaking of EXP lane, that's nearly a 1v3 that he actually engaged in. But even Hades, looking at the rotation so far, it seems like they just really want to establish control in that lane so that they're able to focus a lot more of the resources towards the important or the key heroes that they have, specifically Vanix. Although he's managing it pretty well alone here in the bottom lane, still Sekai's though, he's here as well, so let's see what happens. Oh wait, Graham!
Oh, gonna be assassinated. Hades finds it. JPL 2 gets away the dragon. Diablo gonna be terrified down. Skies will be able. Wait.
He caught the kill on the Vanix.
Okay, yeah, I was like, whoa. That was an assassination as well.
Oh no.
Sounds Revenge and the Rage over to JPL. Only JPL. This should be a free one for NIP Flash. Eternal Guard. JPL, actually able to escape. Diablo jumping in forward, getting the kill. Now Hades doing the same thing. Curtizi gonna be caught on the electrifying beast, but can just fly.
Hands. Although SRG, they're able to find their way to Vanix, which I don't think is that much of a good sign, but at least for them. Oh no, and speaking of, they're really trying to focus down on Vanix right now.
Yeah.
So with NIP Flash, they're operating kind of well in terms of other areas in the map. Vanix is starting to have quite a rough time in this gold lane.
Yeah, as much of a rough time as Stormy, I think, right? I mean, every time he walks up, he's gonna have to be double, triple, quadruple careful. Because of Diablo, he can one-shot Vexana at this point. Diablo's actually reading this really well. SRG have a hold there, and Diablo's not going for it. He's actually just
I mean
buying timer and like zoning them away from Hades.
Yeah, he knows it. The eye indicator and all that. They're definitely just trying to read into where they're possibly positioned, but Diablo takes the long cut. He's just really being careful on this now that SRG probably has their eyes set on Diablo. And speaking of, that's the electrifying beast already used by Sekai's.
Okay, doesn't get the spatial migration. Even the final blow utilized by Diablo, you can see how much trust he had in Hades hitting that skill, but unfortunately for them, Skies is too slick with it.
Yeah. So we're waiting for the next potential objective, but Cram is waiting here in the Riverside. So they're just really doing well in terms of scouting each member out. Curtizi uses the wing by wings. So it's just like SRG, they're able to get their turret, the tier 1 turret down bottom, but Stormy, oh no, you said being quadruple careful. But I don't think he was able to foresee that.
I think he might have to do more than quadruple careful. Spatial migration on top of the fact that there's a final blow. Petrify, and yeah, I think the flicker choice might have been a bit too much of a gamble here. Times Revenge and the Rage. JPL with a shampoo gets away. Sky's dealing the damage. Worldy and the crit from Innocent. Hades picks up the turtle though, and Diablo will be able to trade it with a turret up top.
My goodness, 2 objectives in exchange for JPL. I think that's a really good trade for NIP Flash. They get a turret as well as their 3rd consecutive turtle, which explains also why we're seeing this much of gold lead in their hands. And I mean, if you were SRG, this entire Quidivir jungle, it must have really caught them off guard. I don't think Yumes has been able to really pull off that perfect Tyrant's Rage Revenge combo, but speaking of Yumes, he's very, very low, but JPL gets bursted down first.
AOG into the back, Diablo! What a set, what a Petrify! Beautifully done!
Diablo! Just did the clutch plays on the Benedetta. Sekai's trying to look for the trade, and he will be able to get Vanix. Hades will be punishing him though, and that's the monster kill for Diablo.
Whoa, all right. Maybe that's a bit too crazy. Mr. Diablo has to wait for the final blow at least before you want to dive into Stormy. Man, Diablo on the Benedetta. This is why, I mean, at least in MSC 2023, do you remember how much respect was placed onto his comfort picks? His badonkadonk. I remember, if he starts badonging, this might be a tough one. Diablo gets out with the final blow too.
Yeah. And I think SRG, they're struggling to find the perfect timings to layer their skills appropriately up against the targets that Yums eventually finds across the map. I mean, even if Yums gets to jump on a member from NIP Flash, Stormy, I think he'd be thinking twice about trying to go in, but this is the perfect target though. That's JPL, that's all alone. Separated from all the members of NIP Flash.
Uh-oh. Hades trying to catch him. Feather airstrike over to Cram. The burst not enough, but Diablo's coming in. He's godlike. Gets the kill. 1-for-1. Cram for JPL.
Diablo's been coming in at the perfect timings on this Benedetta. And this is probably why you should really learn how to respect. I mean, there have been a lot of adjustments from NIP Flash, that's for sure. They've been sticking with the high lows. They've been sticking with the CC for Diablo. But this is an entirely different version of NIP Flash. This is them playing where they're comfortable playing. And Yums, oh no, he connects onto Hades. Oh. But will they be able to burst him down? Oh no, Diablo once again!
Oh, he gets shut down by Innocent though! JP on the back, goes for the Dragon. Hades with the retry win. Yums, spatial migration, catching onto him. JPL falling. That was a big shutdown that Innocent picked up.
I can only imagine the bounty. I can only imagine the bounty that went into the hands of Innocent, but still NIP Flash, they got their hands on the Lord. So they will be able to maintain the control over the map. But Innocent is slowly starting to join in the team fights. The Lord will be immediately taken care of by Sekais as well. But they ought to be careful. If earlier Diablo could just be as aggressive as he wants to be, right now SRG, they're having enough damage to deal with him.
How much gold was that? Wait, he's 8.6k.
Oh my god.
He's 1,000 gold ahead. How much gold did he get? I really wonder. But on the other side, wow, Diablo, 3,000 gold? Ahead of the Gato Kacha.
That's insane. That's a high amount of damage that you could expect from this Benedetta. If we were to recall the emblems that he went for earlier, it's the fighter emblem together with the master assassin and a bit of concussive blast as well. So you could expect him to really dish out the damage, but an eye for an eye. That was close for Diablo.
Oh, Yums, Tannish Revenge, just find Rage. Guys, try to go for the flank earlier. For the airstrike, will be able to zone them away with the Death Sonata. Okay, NIP Flash, get away. Man, that was close. Guys almost got Diablo while he was recalling.
Yeah, and that is precisely why we've been saying that SRG, once they're able to pick up all their items, once they're able to group up, that's a completely different story. Diablo has to be a little bit more careful in terms of the heroes that he wants to look out for against SRG. Innocent at this point, he's only lacking one more item and is currently leading in terms of gold ranking, but Hades, he finds the target!
Oh, just into the final blow. Cram has the AUG out of there. Diablo didn't even use any, he just final blow. That was the final blow damage. Oh my lord.
At least for NIP Flash, they're really able to provide the follow-ups. That's something we're yet to see from SRG, especially if they're grouped up together.
Wow.
The most they can do is just really look out for those targets that are isolated, but checking out the damage dealt ranking, you have to look at Diablo and the amount of damage he's dealt in this game.
Diablo, every time he gets a signature pick, man, he always finds ways to get highlights. A world tournament, international tournament, MSC was the Badang, M6 might just be the time for his Benedetta.
And imagine, it's not like Curtizi's having that much of a hard time. Even up against this kind of lineup, even up against the Joy, I think Sekais has been trying to look for the angle since earlier to just hunt down Curtizi. But since they have these much turrets left, but since they have this much control left, they're not able to pull off exactly that. But oh wait!
Tannish Revenge and Rage, Eternal Guard catching JPL while he was dashing. Skies! Oh! Finds it! Final blow coming down. Great revitalize. That's an eye for an eye from Diablo in his head! JPL though! Oh no, that's Hades with the spatial migration, the Violent Requiem. The damage not enough to take anyone down. Phoenix against the world, 4v2. Innocent wants some smoke, dashes forward. That was 3 for 1. Oh! That's a shot down from Phoenix.
And I can't believe we're seeing some sort of a replay from game number 1 and 2. How NIP Flash were just in the lead, but suddenly a single pickoff, a single play turns things around. And earlier that particular play was Sekai's being able to hunt down Curtizi. Once they lost that damage, that additional layer of damage, Sillamore and Jice, they were just able to go in. But now that they're back, they'll have to defend this because SRG, they were able to secure the Lord.
This is very dangerous now for NIP Flash. The early lead that they got, the 12 minutes of gameplay, it disappeared just with one fight. Again, SRG take full control. Sky's electrifying beats! It's gonna be the stun overdose. Sky's very low! Now Diablo chasing him. Oh my lord! JPL shuts him down. Skies will be slain in the bottom lane. Innocent, though, will not stay idly by. He will be active, making quick work of the tier 2.
In exchange of that kill on Sekai's, they might just bid farewell to all the remaining inner turrets. Diablo, will he be able to go? Oh no, he gets spotted by Stormy! But will he engage in this? He's alone, not anymore though. Cram is also here, Avatar the Guardian!
Let's see, Diablo. How do you get away from this one? That's a conceal! Petrify! Diablo going forward. That's Stormy taken down. Yums with the time revenge and the range finding him. Innocent in the back, still being able to free hit Hades. Still caught on the damage. Hades getting away with the space of migration. That's a good shot over to Innocent by Curtizi. Lord still alive. Hades walking back. Phoenix trying to clear it as fast as possible. And they will be able to defend against it. Oh man, the turn from Diablo.
Them deciding to engage in that fight probably cost them all the remaining all the remaining inner turrets. But that was okay, I feel, for NIP Flash. It felt like them really showing that they were still in the game. They'd still be ready to take on SRG if they too commit just one single mistake. Now looking at the items, both of the gold laners already have their hands on their complete builds. And Cram is slowly catching up too. So the sustain is gradually being there for SRG. Also picks up the Antique Cuirass. So now they will probably be a bit more confident to engage in the fights, even with the presence of a complete 5-man lineup for NIP Flash.
Great reaction there from JPO, actually shunpooing out of the Tower's Revenge from Yums. But NIP Flash, they are far away from getting that lead back, I feel. You know, SRG, their composition does really well in the later stage of the game with the Joy, Bruno, Innocent, and Skies. They should be online to do whatever they want in the fights. And I mean, to be fair, for Innocent, we've already seen it.
Yep. So they get to use the Magic Sentry, find the other members of SRG, but Yums will be charging, doesn't connect onto JPL. But this is becoming tricky for NIP Flash.
Definitely. And Diablo doesn't even have enough damage to threaten Skies if he dives in. Like previously, Skies couldn't jump in because once you get petrified, you're technically almost dead, right? Now Skies is pretty chill with it. Every time he actually jumps in, I don't think there's enough damage with the Petrify and the Phantom Slash to really threaten him.
Yeah, especially if he gets to dance around all those bullets from Vanix. But it seems like the bullets now are primarily being used to poke down crucial members of SRG. This is the Lord Dance that we're watching for NIP Flash and SRG. It seems like NIP Flash are actually in control of the Lord Pit, but SRG, they have a lot of range, so they can engage whenever they do want to go for it. But Diablo!
Diablo gets the assassination! JPL caught in the midst of it all. Stormy gets a Curse Blast. Vanix shooting them down with the Death and that eye for an eye from Diablo. Innocent takes him down, though. 2 for 1. It started up with Skies taken out, and now it's SRG with the winning team fight.
That was an important pickoff. That was one of the probable game changers that NIP Flash could have done, courtesy of Diablo taking out Sekai's. Oh no, but then SRG, they still want to go for it. They take out Hades too.
That's a win of nature from Innocent. That's a bit more info, but I think SRG are very happy to trade info for a free Lord. Hades is down for 30 seconds. Innocent can very easily just solo this. And NIP Flash, now they're going to have to defend another Lord.
This has been such an unexpected turn of events. From the Lord Dance, to the way Diablo took out Sekai's, to the way SRG took out Hades. You would have thought it was already the ideal scenario for NIP Flash, but now once again, they will have to defend. And this time, only with their base turrets remaining. They have the range, they have the wave clear. This is still the Benedetta we're talking about, but once you use up all those crucial resources, SRG, I feel like they won't think twice of going in.
That's a 2,000 gold lead that Innocent has over Vanix. At this point, the gold lead doesn't really matter for the gold laners. It'll just be item swaps, right? But still, Innocent's holding on to that gold lead. Same goes for Diablo. It'll just be item swaps now that we are waiting for. He's already on the way to the Rose Gold Meteor. SRG, 4,300 gold ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, Sekai, he also has his hands on the Winter Crown right now, so he can either go in, force a reaction from NIP Flash, and the electrifying beats, it will still be casted anyway. So NIP Flash, they have to be careful for that, but Cram and Diablo, they have a world of their own in the top lane.
That's an island right there. Up top, it's an island. It's the XP lane island. Yoms. Oh, great cancel with the Eternal Guard there.
Okay.
Little spatial migration earlier. 2 base turrets down. Diablo still in a 1v1 up top in this island. Uh-oh. He's going to bring some friends in. Diablo caught by the AOG. Cram might just be going for this 1v1.
Okay, they're chasing after him.
Uh-oh.
Sekai!
Eye for an eye! Goodbye! Good night, Diablo. Skies takes him down. The honorable 1v1 wasn't so honorable.
And that was a call for a friend. They literally had to respond. But props to what Diablo did. They were able to save at least 1 base turret for NIP Flash. But this is the only remaining base turret. SRG has their eyes set on it, but they jump to
2-man spatial migration, but in the back again. Way the Dragon, lock the Skies down. That's an immortality by 4 Skies. Let's see what he can do with it. Buys the Winter Crown or just uses it here. Escapes from the clutches of NIP Flash. Yoms, turns bench and the Radiant Flicker out. Innocent still free, hitting Vanix very low. AOG coming down as well. That's a cancel spatial migration. Selangor Red Giants, clean sweep. NIP Flash to continue their road in the lower brackets.
The Red Giants are here to stay. Still hungry for that title and that year for Golden Road. A clean sweep delivered to us by the proud Giants of Malaysia.
And with this, SRG will continue in the lower brackets, but for NIP Flash, it is GG, well played. NIP Flash will be eliminated from the M6 World Championship after getting through the grueling Swiss stage.
Teams tied.
Say he got the Matilda all this while. It's only a matter of time until Sao gets the MVP. And again, that very last catch. Woo! Talk about game-changing.
That was incredible. I mean, we've seen a lot of impactful plays coming in from Matilda players. Sao now joining the ranks of them as well. With it, again, most people wouldn't have seen that angle as well. The fact that he was able to get the knockup and understands how much range he has really shows mastery over the hero.
Like a magician, like, look at this hand, and then the other hand does the magic.
Yeah, I mean, man, Warlord, he didn't even see it coming. He thought, okay, I created enough distance, right? Like, I'm already in the mid lane. Smooth is already by Pixel Brush, past Pixel Brush. It's totally fine. And then the support system comes in.
It's Mr. EECA. He's made multiple M-Series appearances. The only one he missed was M4. You heard Kid Bomba's promise, right? He wanted Sunset Lover and also Sawo to be able to make it to the grand stage, to be able to make it to Oxiata, and now they're one step closer to that dream.
And now we got to look at the highlights of this game. And honestly, this game, there's a lot of highlights.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Again, like, this is just one of those things. You just take one play, and then that kind of describes what really happened in the game.
Yeah, but both compositions were pretty difficult to pull off, right? Team Spirit is
They are savvy observers, staying out of trouble and positioning well to deal the most damage with their fragile heroes. Do you agree? How would you describe the roles that make MLBB greater than ever? A new era begins at M6. But who are the rising superstars leading the way? In Latam, Maycam Evolve emerges as the new gem of the region. With Aurora's fierce adaptability and rookie sensation Super Nahuel, the Dynasty Enders made history, toppling the undefeated RRQ Akira after a 2.5-year reign. At MTC Turkey Championship, S2G Esports rises as a new challenger. Led by Sigibum's superstar performance at the gold lane, Pagu's playmaking, and Begin's rotation, they are ready to shine on the world stage. In their M-Series debut from MPL Cambodia, CFU Gaming is ready to strike. With M2 veteran Oppi and core members Detective, Z, and Wadu. Can the Sharks are primed to make waves on the world stage? Returning to the M-Series is RRQ Hoshi, the Sang Raja.
Looking for a trade as he finds the triple. Looking for the maniac.
Reinforced by Sutsujin's lethal skill, and led by Skylar, this squad of young stars is on a mission for global dominance. The Indonesian cavalry made a bold gamble by swapping their lineup with MDL rookies. Uncovering gems like Fabian, the deadly jungler, a calculated roamer in Witty the Wise, and King Eronshiki, the next-level gold laner. Team Liquid ID rises as a new M-Series challenger.
The double, the Lloyd goes down 1 by 1. It's a maniac.
MPL PH Season 14 saw the debut of Aurora Gaming, with rising gold laner Domeng and MSC 2022 champion Demon Kite. The Kite-Kite combo complements Aurora's methodical playstyle, leaving fans to wonder how will they fare in M6. Spearheaded by superstars in Kelra and King Kong, Fnatic Onic, PH made MPL PH history with a 13-match winning streak. Known for his insane mechanical skill, Season 14 has seen King Kong perform at peak confidence with aggressive and assertive plays throughout the season.
It's a battle in the mid lane! Domain for Kelra!
While Kelra has proven to the world why he's the gold standard. Making his M-Series debut and ready to shake the international stage once more is Selangor Red Giant Skies. Known for his signature fanny, Skies is able to switch it up with fighter junglers, enabling SRG to deploy many different playstyles to surprise their opponents. These rising stars have claimed the spotlight, but which player has what it takes to emerge greater than ever?
An Indo-MY rivalry over at the cornhole game. Two has to enter the hole. Okay, salam dulu, salam dulu. Salam dulu. An MYID rivalry at the cornhole game.
Okay guys, right now I am over at the basketball arcade machine because we are going to see a 1v1 situation happening, which is going to be Miles from Fnatic Onic Philippines going up against Tarzan from Twisted Minds.
1v1 going on. Who is going to win? Once again, we have a 1v1 going on. Hades and the one and only Domeng. As we can see here, it's a very tight game. Very, very tight.
If you guys can do better than them. Here we have
And that is Skylar. Nice one. Mantap. All right. Once again, Singapore, which I'm assuming they should be very good at because Malaysia and Singapore we pretty have very similar childhood. Oh, nice one.
Congratulations, it's an official merchandise from M6 and TNT Gold dropping on 28.
Terima kasih Malaysia. We are ready for M6. Kita siap untuk M6. ML Kitchen Hazardous.
Kita udah ready buat M6.
We are ready for M6.
Handa na kami sa M6.
We are ready for M6.
M6， 我们准备好了。
glory starts now.
모바일 레전드 M6 스위스 워치. 메이지. Hello panda, semua suka biskuitnya. Biskuitnya enak, isinya lezat, rasa coklat dan strawberry. Hello panda, semua suka biskuitnya. Biskuitnya enak, isinya lezat, rasa coklat dan strawberry. Hello panda, biskuit isi yang enak.
In MLBB, each of the 5 players plays a distinct role.
Whatever it is you want to believe, let's again!
But how do these roles work together on the world stage?
Go and Sons, who picks up the...
Mid laners and roamers are the bedrock of the team.
Looking for the knockup, not able to find us, hence who he wants for, takes him out.
Whether it's picking beefy tanks, mages, or sustain, together they provide crowd control and damage in the early game, making space for the team to farm or secure objectives. Then we have the EXP laners, usually playing tanky heroes. They poke and zone the enemy to create opportunities.
All right, let's see another fight commences here. Gear goes in. It's going to be a lot of damage played.
While the roamers pick to fill the team's needs and support if needed. EXP laners must win their lane and protect their tower with aggressive, confident play, ensuring map control for the team.
Ooh, final slash.
Finally, we come to the junglers, the early to mid-game finishers, and the gold laners, the mid to late game finishers.
Fiery, the god of the jungle, takes a double kill.
For junglers, whether it's frontline tank utility or assassin early game assassin burst, they form the core of the team. They
lost in the shadows, feeling so small, but I've got a fire, won't let myself fall. Every hit taken, every scar earned, lessons in pain from which I've learned. When the world says I'm done, I'm just on in my run. Through the darkest of nights, I will find. You won't get me down, you won't get me down. I can't back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down, no, I'll never back down. A force to behold and it waits to unfold. I'll always come back around. When worlds converge and dreams ignite, There are millions to witness the champion arise. With every challenge, we push with all our might. For we have only one goal, the ultimate prize. When hope seems so far, I'll reach for the stars. In the heart of the storm, I am reborn. I am reborn. You won't get me down. You won't get me down. I get back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down. No, I'll never back down. Forced to be holding it way to and fro. I'll always come back around. Battle, battle, taking the ride. Make it, break it, hate it, I shine. You won't get me down. No, I'll never back You won't get me down. You won't get me down. I get back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down. No, I'll never back down. Forced to be holding it way to and fro. I'll always come back around. You won't get me down. You won't get me down. I get back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down. No, I'll never back down. Forced to be holding it way to and fro. I'll always come back around. Always come back around. Lost in the shadows, feeling so small. But I've got a fire, won't let myself fall. Every hit taken, every scar earned, lessons in pain from which I've learned. When the world says I'm done, I'm just starting my run. Through the darkest of nights, I will find. You won't get me down. You won't get me down. I get back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down. No, I'll never back down. Forced to be holding it way to and fro. I'll always come back around. When worlds converge and dreams ignite, there are millions to witness the champion arise. With every challenge, we push with all our might. For we have only one goal, the ultimate prize. When hope seems so far, I'll reach for the stars. In the heart of the storm, I am reborn. I am reborn. You won't get me down. You won't get me down. I get back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down. No, I'll never back down. Forced to be holding lost in the shadows, feeling so small. But I've got a fire, won't let myself fall. Every hit taken, every scar earned, lessons in pain from which I've learned. When the world says I'm done, I'm just starting my run. Through the darkest of nights, I will find. You won't get me down, you won't get me down. I get back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down, no, I'll never back down. A force to behold and it waits to unfold. I'll always come back around. When worlds converge and dreams ignite, there are millions to witness the champion arise. With every challenge, we push with all our might, for we have only one goal, the ultimate prize. When hope seems so far, I'll reach for the stars. In the heart of the storm, I am reborn, I am reborn. You won't get me down, you won't get me down. I get back on track with a peaceful attack. I'll always come back around. I'll never back down, no, I'll never back down. Force to behold and it waits to unfold. I'll always come back around. Battle, battle, taking the right, make it, break it, hit it, I shine. You won't get me down, no, I'll never back down.
Welcome to the third day of the knockout stage, where today we'll have teams advancing and teams getting eliminated. If you guys can't tell, I'm hella nervous today. My name is Afel. Alongside with me is Gideon Q as well as Steph Weezy. Gideon, how you feeling?
Look, I'm just as nervous as you, but unfortunately, I don't have that kind of energy to give out right now, Steph. I know you got no stakes in this match whatsoever, but this is the knockout stage at this point. And I mean, expectations need to be set. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but I'm shaking.
I'll tell you what.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Definitely a lot of energy. I can feel it, and I know why, right? Me, my region's gone. North America's been knocked out. You know, you guys took out BTK. Vamos took down BTK, so we'll see.
A lot of emotions. When it comes to the World Championship, a lot of emotions. We've seen two teams already move forward, FNOP as well as TLID. They'll be going to Axiata. Now, while we're talking about today, for you guys, you can experience the thrill of gaming in real life at Kadia's Gaming and Esports District. Every detail is a celebration of play and entertainment. We would like to say thank you very much to Kadia. They've been here since the wild card, the Swiss stage, and now the knockout stage. Thank you very much to Kadia. And do you guys know 1.5 billion people have registered? They're registered as MLBB players. So we're celebrating this from the 6th of December all the way to the 23rd of December. Join the event and a complete task to get a random epic skin. It's an epic skin, folks, for free. Thank you for your unwavering support and for being part of this incredible journey. 1.5 billion.
Let me tell you, LaFell, every time I get into the game, and especially for those of you who've been playing for a very long time, the one thing that annoys people is, why are you using the base skin? This time around, you're going to get a free epic one, so at least you can swag out with the rest of us pompous pricks.
Yeah, you got to go out in style, right? I mean, now's a good time. You said 1.5. That's a good time to rank up. Maybe I can hit Mythic finally with all the brand new players in the pool.
He's being very optimistic, Gideon. Here's the thing: if you play solo queue, then it's an experience for sure. It's very fun. It's very engaging. It's very immersive, Gideon.
I mean, yeah, we are the medium server after all. We've upgraded! We've upgraded! That's a plus point, but at the same time, I mean, with today's games, anything could happen. And I think we need to start setting expectations because honestly, I'm really not sure with the inconsistent performance of these teams.
Right now, let's look at the brackets to tell the story of what has happened and what could have happened. All right, right now we're looking at the knockout brackets here where no elimination so far. It's all about bracketing here. And now we are at the stage where we're looking at the bottom half of the bracket. Selangor Giants against NIP Flash. Whoever wins that one will go up against RRQ Hoshi. However, the ones that have lost will be eliminated. Same story with Vamos against Team Spirit. Wins, you go up against Falcon. Lose, you get eliminated. Let me tell you, gentlemen, for me, this is one of those situations. If you lose, you lose. And even if you win, you kind of lose.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's make it or break it right now. The stakes are higher than ever. I can tell why you guys are nervous, right? I was there with you. I flew into Malaysia. And my team was already gone.
Oh, well, honestly, I don't know. Even if your team was still part of it, if it was a lower bracket run, it really is scary. Because usually in these M series, you have an optimistic favorite, and then you have a guaranteed favorite. I'm looking at that upper brackets, and I'm like, honestly, I don't want to see any of these teams in the lower brackets.
This is crazy. When we're in the top 8, you kind of don't want to face against anyone. But now we got to look at the schedule for today. We have 2 best of 5 for you folks. Vamos going up against Team Spirit. Afterwards, it is going to be Selangor Giants going up against NIP Flash. And again, all the matches for today is going to be a best of 5.
Elimination day. These teams will play with single best of 5 to determine whether they move on to meet an even more difficult team or instantly get eliminated. And I would say that all of our 4 teams, especially playing in these 2 best of 5s, all have the potential to make it further, maybe even top 4, but it's going to come down to execution.
Well, if it's anything like yesterday, we had 2 best of 5s as well, and those both went the distance. You thought it was going to go to one side with the 2-0, and then the other team bounced back, that rubber band effect, and I myself am hoping we see the same thing. I know you guys are a little nervous. There's a lot on the line for you guys.
Here's the thing. If Malaysia wins the first game, then it'll be a 3-0. But if we're already losing 0-1, then it's like, okay, what about a 3-1? And then what about a 3-2, you know? But again, for me and Gideon, it's going to be hot racing for all the games today. But for you, Easy, what is the match to watch for you?
Oh, honestly, both of them are full of excitement. I think with Vamos and Spirit, Vamos took down BTK, you know? So it's going to be entertaining to watch them, but also Team Spirit because the growth of EECA.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they've been doing so good. They've been in so many series. They have Sawa over there, a veteran player. And we got to see if they can get the job done up against a team like Vamos, who's been around as well with the revamps of Homeboys. And it's going to be some good games.
It is going to be some good games, and honestly, I'm hoping that the teams are bringing their best, because some of the teams in some of the series that we saw previously, especially in the decider bracket, some even coming from the upper bracket as well, have been a little, I would say, less than satisfying. So, in this full best of 5, if it does go all 5 games, I'm expecting a lot of it to come through the draft.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like we're all in agreement here, where we're looking at M6. The players are all good.
Oh, yeah.
It really does come with the draft where you know, certain drafts put the player in a disadvantageous situation where winning is great, but it's so hard to do.
You know, and that's interesting, too, because I feel like Vamos, at least so far, they've been very experimental, right? They've even
yes, that's one way to put it.
They've thrown in the Hellkurt into the roam position, and they pulled it off. You know,
once.
Literally once. But do you think the higher we go on this ladder, do you think riskier drafts like that will be as effective?
No. I really feel like when it comes to elimination, the only one where you can risk it is game number 1. After game number 1, it's all about understanding your opponents and then play around them.
I think that's a fair point. Again, it's scary to do it right now, but game one, all right, let's see whether it's going to be experimental or not.
Right now, I'm going to hold both of you to your opinions because right now we actually have to go to the backstage because we got interview with the players behind. I think it's with Poji. So Poji, what you got?
Hello guys, and now we're here, me, Poji, and also we got Zons and Nets from Wamos team. So first question to Zon.
Yes.
Last year, you met with Team Kid Bomba, then lose against them. How do you feel for this year? Can you win against them?
Yes, I very confident today we're gonna win against them.
Mungkin boleh bagi pedas dan panas sikit. Tak apa, bagi je bahasa Melayu. Nanti kita translate kasi tajam dan panas. Sikit hati.
Kalau bahasa Melayu boleh bagi net. Saya hanya bisa English, guys.
Wow, English people. Okay. So for next. This is your time. You're about to go against Hiko, which is the only player in M6 that gets Savage. What do you want to say to Hiko?
Hiko, good luck. Good luck.
So what do you want to say to Kid Bombay and all of his team? Actually, for the team spirit itself. Team spirit, go back and practice more. No.
No.
No one. Next good boy.
Good boy. Lepas menang, boleh bad boy.
Bila menang boleh bad boy. So, mungkin kata-kata terakhir sebelum kita bermula. Final word before we start the games on.
Doakan kita orang menang dan insyaAllah Malaysia boleh.
Nice. Both of them squad macam struggle sikit. Sekarang kalau kita nak fokus lebih tak boleh. Nak marah, nak taunting atau nak spicy pun cannot. But then again, we hopefully got something nice from Team Spirit side. So let's go. Apa kata Eterna? Let's go.
Surprise, guys! I'm back here for M6 as a courtside reporter, but that's not the only surprise because right now we have Kid Bomba as well as Sawo over here. And now we want to ask, earlier on we had a little bit of an interview with Team Vamos and they said that they're going to be confident to be able to take your team down. Now, let's hear your level of confidence. Let's start with you, Kid Bomba.
100% confident.
All right, what about you? Same. All right, 100% confidence. I mean, you guys have been able to take down them in the past, a little bit of a snapback into M5. Now, what do you think would be different this time around?
Nothing.
All right, what about you?
Just saying.
Just the same. Okay, we're getting a lot of confidence here. I'm wondering how Team Vamos are feeling right now. But do you have any final words maybe to your fans around the world or maybe some words to Vamos?
Good luck to Vamos. Thank you for supporting Team Spirit.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There's really nothing else you want to say, guys?
Good luck.
Just good luck? Okay, fine. Predictions then.
After the win.
What about predictions? The series.
3-0.
3-0.
Maybe 3-1.
3-1. All right. What's going on? I thought things would be a little bit more spicier, guys. Okay, there's a lot of respect going up in the... Oh, what? Do you see that? They're like, no. What do you have to say about that? Yeah, it's fine. Keep it cool. It's fine.
For sure.
All right. For sure. Okay. Okay, full respect. Maybe after. Maybe after. So, thank you so much, Kid Bomba. Thank you so much. Sawo, good luck. And we're going to throw it back over to the panel to break it down.
Good? What he said, same thing.
Okay. This match. What do you guys think?
Very good match.
Very good match? What about you?
Good match.
Good match. I see.
What's up with these players, dude? What is up with them?
It's elimination, okay? They're just like, let's play it safe. Let's play it safe. When we win, then we can show off. But now we got a poster here coming up for you guys. So let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. All right, there we go. Igniting Team Spirit. they're the last hope for the West. And heck, the only non-SEA team here. So a lot of pressure here. Gideon, you feel like a lot of pressure?
I think that, honestly, I feel like it's a lot of pressure coming into this particular game. I understand where the players are coming from, but I feel like I was expecting a little bit more trash talk because these are very big personalities. And yes, it is the last bastion for the West. And even for Vamos, they've been knocking out a lot of Western teams.
It's a strategy by Team Spirit.
What?
You want to know why?
Why?
Every team that trash talk Vamos, they become stronger. Vamos become stronger. So when you treat them nicely, they're not all that great.
They don't want to feed the beast.
So it's something that you guys can try next time.
Oh.
Yeah, just be nice to them.
That's the secret.
Exactly, just be nice and then they're like, oh, well, okay.
So we can't say Malaysia easy server.
No, just say like, oh, you guys are okay.
Man, hardest server ever. Never played a server that has been this difficult ever in my life.
Okay. That's the strategy. Against Vamos, just smother them. Just butter them up. And then they'll be like, well, okay. As we're talking, we're going to look at the players using the ROG Phone 9 Pro, testing out their ping. As you guys see, the players are on stage, and they really do need it because it's honestly a good question coming in from Wheezy. Will we see some cheese coming in from Vamos, where we see like the Hellkirk picks and the such?
I mean, yes, but I need to see the logic behind it, right? Everything we've seen from Pubs in the Swiss stage had some sort of concept towards it. Maybe the execution wasn't as clean.
In Malaysia, we have one answer to those kind of questions.
What could it be?
Sebab boleh, dik.
Oh.
Okay, you got to break that down for me.
So if someone asks you, right, okay, what about a Hellkirk? And then someone like Gideon comes in, it's like, okay, what's the logic behind it? And then you say, because I can. So that's it.
That's it.
Sometimes that's all you need. Like, why do you paint your house black? Because you can.
Because I can, little bro. That's
exactly. Fries in a little. Okay, you know, I need Leo. Leo is more.
He's got the ball rolling for that one. He's got the ball rolling.
He's the Rizzler. He has all this Gen Z talk. Where are we on again?
We're currently
match highlight. let's talk about the match highlight here because again, looking at both teams, this is an elimination match. So this is going to be a very tough best of 5.
И регион не показывал себя так хорошо на М-серии, начиная с М1 до М3. Только недавно на чемпионате М5 они совершили камбэк, они заняли 4-е место. Но после MSC многие забыли о нашем регионе. Многие сказали, что наш регион слабый.
After the last top 12 MSC and then M5, I said we'll come back stronger, so I want to keep my word. I'm going to be bringing back the bomber mentality by showing everybody that actions speak louder than words. I hope more players from Western Europe come forth and show that they can beat stronger teams and going to be able to showcase the strength of European teams.
If Team Spirit wins, it will be a sensation for the world of Mobile Legends. It will mean that the ESA region is as strong as Malaysia and the Indonesia and Philippine region.
That's a triple for Hiko! That's a double Hiko! What a maniac! See, running around, Hiko! Gets to Savage!
And after so many years, Sawa and Sunset Lover will have this trophy.
I really want Savo and Sunset to be champion. They've been playing for such a long time. You know, I really want to help them get to the top. So much unnoticed talent just getting wasted with time because you can't escape time. Savo's 25, Sunset's 23. You really want them to win something by now, you know? You really want to show everybody that they're also top tier.
Здорово, Team Spirit. Я первый раз в жизни вижу наш регион в такой шикарной и обалденной форме.
Мы топим за вас всем регионом, следим за вашими каждыми катками.
В Сбере нет сильнее дракона, Спирит — гордость региона.
Team Spirit, welcome to top 8.
I think every team understands here that it's kind of like a war. You need men in war, so I'm trying to be the winner of the war.
There's so much to break down. First of all, the Bomba mentality. actions speak louder than words. But his words are pretty loud as well, as we can tell. And wanting a W for Sunset Lover as well as Sao, and then saying that they're 25 and 23. Excuse me, but that's still very young.
They are extremely young, but especially in a mobile sport like this that goes at such a fast pace, I would say that the duration for a majority of players is a lot shorter in comparison to some of the other games out there.
Well, effectively, they're the best in the West right now, right?
Yep.
The last standing West region. And this is a team that we've seen since the beginning, right? They've been here since M1. The only M series they missed was what, M4?
Yeah.
And here they are again for another shot at glory, and you can definitely tell the hunger's there.
Well, I'm hungry too, but not talking about that. Both teams are ready. So after this, we will invite both teams coming up on stage for their best of 5 elimination match.
This team's journey served as a major roadblock for teams traveling from the West. Turkey's champion was Uno. NA's king was Dos. As they return on stage, they look to claim the trace. Everybody, say it with me. Hola, vamos!
For Gallant Spirit, there can never be defeat. An old adage says, as they face the Western Team Slayers, the final bastion of the Western Frontier seeks to prove that they may be bent but never broken. They are Team Spirit!
And now, introducing the coach coming in from both teams, Coach Pops and Coach Pauibom from Vamos, Coach Friend and DK Lana from Team Spirit. Both teams we've seen, they can definitely go the distance when it comes to the draft. A lot of picks have been picked throughout this M6. Do they have anything more? Are they hiding anything for this matchup? And now coming into this matchup, Vamos as well as Team Spirit. When it comes to Team Spirit, we gotta look at Hiko. Hiko Mania, the only one that got a Savage. But going up against Nets, that's gonna be very interesting because you got a long-range marksman player of Hiko going up against Nets, where his range is more mid-range.
Yeah, he is a little bit more mid-range, but at the same time, it's a little scary, right? As much as we want to say that, maybe it's his time to actually pop off in lane, he's going to need a lot of support, and that's why I'm looking towards Chibi to make that happen.
And now we gotta look at Chibi here, the jungler of Malaysia that has been around since MPL Season 7. But looking at his achievements here, silver in the 32nd at SEA Games, MPL MY Season 12 champion, Season 13 runner-up. Unfortunately, MSC only 5th to 8th place, and MPL MY Season 14 2nd place. And he wants to make sure that at least for M6, the minimum, he wants top 4 here. Steph.
Top 4. I mean, it's one of the Malaysian teams to try and get it done, right? There's a lot of regions that have been knocked out. Malaysia still having 2 teams to get the job done this far in the knockout phase.
Yeah, now we got to look at a head-to-head here between both teams. And we're looking at the jungler here, both Chibi as well as One Shot. If we're looking at the numbers, honestly looking at the KDA, One Shot has a little bit more. I feel like the game on the Fanny has definitely got him a lot of KDA on that game. But if we're looking at the gold per minute as well as average turtle, Chibi has been doing amazing, where I kind of feel like this is a testament to his retribution ability. Even in losing games, he somehow finds ways to get turtle and lords.
That's the crazy part about Chibi, right? Initially, even before this, M5, he was already looking to be Turtle Mania Lord Destroyer every single time. However, in that matchup, that was against Magister. Coming into M6 with One Shot, he's definitely stood out compared to the rest with his flexibility, but more importantly so, the way the team plays around him.
Yeah, we've been seeing, at least so far within the draft, it's had such a heavy impact on the results of the game. And we know when it comes to Vamos, they like to get a little experimental, more in the roam setting than the jungle. And now are they willing to take that gamble up against the last team standing in the West?
But for you guys, I hope you guys can scan the QR code to redeem your prizes. And we're talking about stats here. Vamos has a 90% first Lord rate. Out of all their games, 9 out of 10 times, Vamos is the first to secure the Lord, and 70% first turret rate as well. So looking at the objectives, Vamos honestly has been looking amazing, and now we're jumping into the drafting phase between Team Spirit going up against Team Vamos. This is the game where you may experiment a little bit, but a reminder, man, this is where you set the tempo. This is where you set your momentum. Vamos, first pick. Team Spirit, second pick. And looks like Vamos, they ban out the Fanny, the Luyi, as well as the Hilda for Team Spirit, banning out the Jushin, as well as the Glue.
So far, we've been seeing a bit of a turnaround when it comes down to blue side and red side from Swiss stage, from the wild card, even with a slight increase in red side win. Second pick for those who don't know. And most of the time, it just comes down to no matter what you look for, unless it is Suyo coming in from blue side, there is so much counter interaction from red.
Yeah, and then you also get to see heroes like the Cho may walk in there, could be flex, it's a safety option. We know when it comes to the gold laners, especially Nets, he likes to play a little bit closer compared to Team Spirit's Hiko, the young prodigy.
Suyo is open, Bruno is open as well. And so far, if I'm not mistaken, Hiko is the only gold laner that has not used the Bruno, even when it's open. So that's also an interesting point to talk about here. And Vamos, again, Net's specialty isn't really long-range marksmen like the Bruno. He does like the carry, the Harif, those that plays like a fighter kind of range.
I mean, we say that he plays at a fighter kind of range, but Bruno really excels in those moments to clutch it out. Because again, if we're talking about heroes who can have sudden bursts of HP regeneration, in this case, Lifesteal, Bruno usually follows that lane. So they're going to first pick it this time around. They're not going to experiment it and deny it off of Hiko. I would only assume that now, TS, they're going to be looking to kind of set up for a Beatrix comp, maybe a Granger.
Hey, you know what? Listening to the crowd, I think they approve of this pick, Steph Weezy.
I think they do too, and for good reason, right? Bruno has just been very effective so far in M6, but there's been some answers. Some teams choose to ban it out, others choose to work around it. We've seen an Angeline come out in the past. We've seen other things like the Granger to possibly counter it out, or even the Beatrix. So there's still some options on the table to be able to give Nets a little bit of a harder time, but it's interesting seeing Nets run on this Bruno, right? It's a little bit further, especially when you get that Malefic gun to be able to work in his favor. Can definitely be a challenge in the gold lane.
I do think there's a bit of a relationship here, right? Because now that we kind of know where Vamos is leaning in towards that gold lane, we can expect a couple of things from a Team Spirit. Number one, the Beatrix and as well as the Ranger. It doesn't have to come out now, so I want to see how they want to build around that. And Matilda and as well as Suyo is a very strong opener for this team.
Right now, looking at the draft, there's two good junglers here. Joy is good against the Suyo, but the Fredrin is good for the Bruno. The Fredrin can defend the Bruno in very sticky situations, and when you have a Fredrin, you're allowed to give some of your farm to the other carries of your team. So now the Matilda, Suyo as well, and Steph Weezy, you mentioned both the Beatrix as well as the Granger, and arguably that's one of Hiko's best heroes.
Yes, it is one of Hiko's best heroes, but at the same time, I was hoping that maybe the jungle spot could be a little bit more flexible here. I expect Vamos to maybe even lean into the Joy a little bit more. Oh, actually, wait. This is a different side of them. This is interesting because I was expecting if Joy shows up, we're expecting Belleru. But with an early Matilda pickup here, it looks like Vamos has came in prepared for this first phase.
You know, it's interesting because I would have said an Eve could have been slotted in for the side of Team Spirit. But now that you're going up against a Hayabusa and a Sicilian, first of all, Sicilian's going to fight from afar. So it's going to be hard to get inside of that RWM. And then you have a hero that's very effective of getting to the back line with that Hayabusa, so it may be a little bit of a challenge for Team Spirit.
Let me just say, if Team Spirit doesn't pick up their gold laner here, probably going to get banned out. So they pick up the Granger, very, very smart, because I really see a future where Vamos is pretty okay with banning both Beatrix as well as Granger. But now, Team Spirit, what are the options? Because we've seen the Sicilian Carmilla combo, but is that something that Team Spirit will respect?
Well, it's a little hard to say. Yes, it is a very interesting combo, but at the same time, I feel that right now that they've already secured their jungler, the question is, how are they going to take control over the lane? You see the Sicilian, even if you play with the RWM, there's a good chance that, at least from Vamos' side, they could turn into a pure dive composition. And not to mention, Hylos hasn't been touched just yet. I'm expecting one of these teams to get rid of it for the sake of their gold laners.
Yeah, just to touch on that, that's where I was looking too. The Hylos could be very effective here, especially into the hands of Team Spirit, considering you're going up against an assassin. You want a hero that can, you know, maybe you have to stay in the XP lane now since you have the Matilda, but you can still invade effectively to kind of slow down that Hayabusa on these objectives.
I mean, now we see the Carmilla ban. There is, I mean, we've seen it. The Moonlight Waltz, really effective combination. hey, Camilla, just do whatever you want. Worst comes to worst, I'll just suck you back in, put you in a safe spot, and then we can start playing with the rest of the team. So at least from the side of Team Spirit, great preparation in terms of previous drafts we've seen from Vamos. But now that we are seeing the Valentina getting banned out, I would only imagine that they want to really double down on this dive.
Something that we have to see is looking at the lineup from Team Spirit. They're looking very strong in lane here. Granger is pretty strong in lane against Bruno, but having the Matilda as well as the Suyo, whatever mid laner that they pick up, they'll be able to move around the map very, very effectively, especially to the side lane. So this is something that Vamos has to be careful of. Whatever EXP laner that they have and the roamer that they have need to be able to either withstand the speed of the rotations or be able to slow it down.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little tricky, but there still are some options on the table. The Aurora's available. We've seen that kind of sneak up into the scene. The Vexana is still up for grabs right now, but we still also got to see what's going to be put in the XP lane for this. Farza, too. That's definitely a wise option, especially with the Wings by Wings. There goes that Cho ban, though. I was wondering when that was going to get knocked off the table, which really leaves this Hylos up for grabs.
All right, Gato Kacha, another pick that Zorn has been using a lot.
Both of which are real good here, but at least for Vamos' side, they're less worried about the Gato in comparison to the Hylos. The Hylos denies you, especially when it comes down to nets, that space to play with. Walking out of it and forcing you to use your slide tackle from sticky situations puts you at odds against the rest of TS, and not to mention, they might even consider just going for Purify at this point of time, but we don't know just yet. As you mentioned, LaFell, the EXP lane matchup, I think, is going to be the big difference maker. Somebody needs to have Concussive Blast, and I would only assume that Vamos wants to focus on their support first.
Yeah, something that is very interesting here, the fact that Vamos is on first pick, they can't really flex their EXP. We can't see something like a Benedetta all of a sudden to match up against Kit Bomba in the EXP. Kit Bomba so far has been using those set heroes, something like an Arlet, so some kind of crowd control enabler for the team, especially now that Sao is on that Matilda. They need some form of initiation. So this is going to be very interesting for Kit Bomba. He can pick up something like the Hylos, a very good front line, but it looks like, he's going to pick up the Hylos. They're going to prioritize just big bodies for Hiko.
Now, a couple of responses from Vamos' side. Either they can go for two setting heroes for both Roam and EXP to kind of force out a lot of spells, and they know that even if one fails, Matilda can pull them out. CC is another good option, but that's assuming that they're going to hard win that lane and actually put resources on that side of the map, which is something that we haven't seen teams do too often. They get a little greedy. They want to win every single lane rather than just focus on two.
You know, and the question is, does Vamos go experimental? Because we have all this in theory. But time and time again, Vamos is a team known to draft outside of the box, right? So I'm really anticipating maybe even the Katat sneaking up in here. It's still available, could be flexed in the Roam or the XP, which would give him a little bit of versatility. There goes the Katat we were looking for alongside the Jawhead.
All right.
So looking for a pickoff here, Gideon.
Yeah, they are looking for pickoff, but they want to play some form of early game. The last time we've seen a similar composition from this from Vamos was when they were up against S2G, and we saw a lot of macro feints to actually snowball that early game. TS, at this point, it's about lane control. If they can control the lane, then the early game is a free bypass.
Now, honestly, this is a very smart EXP lane pickup by Team Spirit because we saw the amount of pressure on the EXP with the Hayabusa, so they're trying to mitigate that a little bit. But now they got to focus on Hiko, making sure that he doesn't get caught. And now, time to draw the beat of the flash. Looks like it's going to be a Joy. Where's the Joy going? Is it going to be a Joy mid? Or Joy, EXP, and then Matilda mid?
Oh, look, I thought Vamos was the experimental one, but looks like it's going to be Team Spirit.
Joy mid!
This is going to be a wild one. Didn't expect that from Team Spirit.
Well, looks like it's time to drop the beat of the flash. Thank you very much to our panelists. But now we're drawing over to Brigida as well as Merkel to call the match.
I love the energy from LaFell, and I'm definitely carrying it over because this is a very important match between the only remaining team from the West up against the so-called Western Team Slayers. Welcome to the caster desk. This is Brigida and Mirko, and we're about to find out what's about to happen in game number 1. What are your thoughts on this surprise Joy in the mid lane by Team Spirit?
You want to know a fun fact?
What?
Right after MSC, I spoke to Bamba. They were trying to find a new jungler for Team Spirit, and he said Sunset Lover might be the guy to take the jungle role. So, hey, I think they are not too surprised about this pick. They know how good Sunset Lover is on the Assassins. Now it's time to prove the world. Let's see if Sunset Lover can pull it off.
Yep, I'm expecting a lot of very aggressive rotations, especially with this Joy in the mid lane. Wave clear definitely wouldn't be a question anymore. So it will be very important for Vamos to keep their side lanes in check. But it seems like they're also being very careful about that. Early leashes coming in from Team Vamos. So we'll see. I mean, it's not just the Matilda which is high in mobility, right? It's
monsters. 1v3. They are savvy observers, staying out of trouble and positioning well to deal the most damage with their fragile heroes. Do you agree? How would you describe the roles that make MLBB greater than ever? A new era begins at M6. But who are the rising superstars leading the way? In Latam, Maycam Evolve emerges as the new gem of the region. With Aurora's fierce adaptability and rookie sensation Super Nahuel, the Dynasty Enders made history, toppling the undefeated RRQ Akira after a 2.5-year reign. At MTC Turkey Championship, S2G Esports rises as a new challenger. Led by Sigibum's superstar performance at the gold lane, Pagu's playmaking, and Begin's rotation, they are ready to shine on the world stage. In their M-Series debut from MPL Cambodia, CFU Gaming is ready to strike. With M2 veteran Poppy and core members Detective, Z, and Wadu. Can the Sharks are primed to make waves on the world stage? Returning to the M-Series is RRQ Hoshi, the Sang Raja.
Looking for a trade as he finds the triple. Looking for the maniac.
Reinforced by Sutsujin's lethal skill and led by Skylar, this squad of young stars is on a mission for global dominance. The Indonesian cavalry made a bold gamble by swapping their lineup with MDL rookies, uncovering gems like Fabian, the deadly jungler, a calculated roamer in Witty the Wise, and King Eronshiki, the next-level gold laner. Team Liquid ID rises as a new M-Series challenger.
To double, the Roy goes down 1 by 1. It's a maniac.
MPL PH Season 14 saw the debut of Aurora Gaming with rising gold laner Domeng and MSC 2022 champion Demon Kite. The Kite-Kite combo complements Aurora's methodical playstyle, leaving fans to wonder how will they fare in M6. Spearheaded by superstars in Kelra and King Kong, Fnatic Onyx PH made MPL PH history with a 13-match winning streak. Known for his insane mechanical skill, Season 14 has seen King Kong perform at peak confidence with aggressive and assertive plays throughout the season.
It's a battle in the mid lane. Domain, but Kelra!
While Kelra has proven to the world why he's the gold standard. Making his M-Series debut and ready to shake the international stage once more is Selangor Red Giant Skies. Known for his signature fanny, Skies is able to switch it up with fighter junglers, enabling SRG to deploy many different playstyles to surprise their opponents. These rising stars have claimed the spotlight, but which player has what it takes to emerge greater than ever?
An Indo-MY rivalry over at the cornhole game. Two has to enter the hole. Okay, salam dulu, salam dulu. Salam dulu. An MYID rivalry at the cornhole game.
Okay guys, right now I am over at the basketball arcade machine because we are going to see a 1v1 situation happening, which is going to be Miles from Fnatic Onyx Philippines going up against Tarzan from Twisted Minds.
1v1 going on. Who is going to win? Once again, we have a 1v1 going on. Hades and the one and only Domeng. As you can see here, it's a very tight game. Very, very tight.
If you guys can do better than them. Here we have
and that is Skylar. Nice one. Mantap. All right. Once again, Singapore, which I'm assuming they should be very good at because Malaysia and Singapore will pretty have very similar childhood. Oh, nice one.
Just for your information, there's an official merchandise for M6 and TNT Gold dropping on 28. Make some noise for TNT.
Terima kasih Malaysia. We are ready for M6. Kita siap untuk M6. ML Kitchen Hazardous.
Kita udah ready buat M6. We are ready for M6.
Handa na kami sa M6.
We are ready for M6. M6， 我们准备好了。
glory starts now.
모바일 레전드 M6 スイスウォッチ메이지 Hello Panda, Hello Panda, semua suka biskuitnya. Biskuitnya enak isinya lezat rasa coklat dan strawberry. Hello Panda, Hello Panda, semua suka biskuitnya. Biskuitnya enak isinya lezat rasa coklat dan strawberry. Hello Panda, biskuit isi yang enak.
In MLBB, each of the 5 players plays a distinct role.
Whatever it is you want to believe, let's again!
But how do these roles work together on the world stage?
Going Sons, who picks up the
Mid laners and roamers are the bedrock of the team.
looking for the knockup, not able to find his sense who he wants for, takes him out.
Whether it's picking beefy tanks, mages, or sustain, together they provide crowd control and damage in the early game, making space for the team to farm or secure objectives. Then we have the EXP laners, usually playing tanky heroes. They poke and zone the enemy to create opportunities.
All right, let's see another fight commences here. Gear goes in, it's going to be a lot of damage played.
While the roamers pick to fill the team's needs and support if needed. EXP laners must win their lane and protect their tower with aggressive, confident play, ensuring map control for the team.
Ooh, final slash.
Finally, we come to the junglers, the early to mid-game finishers, and the gold laners, the mid to late game finishers.
Irie, the god in the jungle, takes a double kill.
For junglers, whether it's frontline tank utility or assassin early game assassin burst, they form the core of the team. They
Lost in the shadows, feeling so small, but I've got a fire, won't let myself fall. Every hit taken, every scar earned, lessons in pain from which I've learned. When the world says I'm done, I'm just starting my run. Through the darkest of nights, I will find